Sure. All right, let's check. We're going to check some sound. We're going to check some sound. That's what we're going to do. We're going to check out some sound to make sure that the viewers that tune in this evening will actually hear something that they want to hear because, if they don't, that usually leads to problems. So for those of you that are tuning in a little early, you're going to hear our sound check, which is just fine. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Got to make sure I find the right, here we go. That's the right one, and then we'll turn up some volume. Okay. Sounds like got some good sound there. Got some good background noise. Okay. Let's go.
following is a presentation of KNOX Sports.
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, we welcome you to Purpur Arena and our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz here tonight. Highly anticipated matchup in the Eastern Dakota Conference this evening. Central wasting no time getting back on the horse after a loss this weekend to East Grand Forks. They're going to take on another team wearing green tonight. The West Fargo Packers come to town. A rebuilt West Fargo Packer team. We remember a team that came to the state tournament in Grand Forks a handful of years ago with 20 wins, and they just happened to run into a Red River team that was destined to go unbeaten wire to wire and win the state championship that season. And then the split occurred where West Fargo Cheyenne and West Fargo fielded separate teams, and it's been kind of a long road back for the Packers to put themselves in that spot, to have that chance to be competitive. But the coaches have ranked them third in this year's Eastern Dakota Conference hockey poll. They have some standout athletes, and they're going to take on a Grand Forks Central team that's favored to win the Eastern Dakota Conference this season after a tough loss for East Grand Forks in overtime, 3-2. I should say rather, tough loss for Central to East Grand Forks, 3-2 in overtime here at Purpur Arena back on Saturday afternoon. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz here. This is a good matchup. We're looking forward to really some top-end talent in the Eastern Dakota Conference facing off against one another tonight to see how this early EDC battle is going to turn out.
Yeah, you mentioned it. There's a lot of talent. I mean, you look at both rosters. I mean, obviously we know what Central brings to the table. We'll talk about them. Let's talk about West Fargo a little bit because you mentioned it. We got Bryce Mattern. This kid is an offensive juggernaut. He's got 7 points through 2 games. I've watched this kid. I've coached this kid. You gotta try your darndest to keep this kid off the scorebook. Like, he just finds ways to get points, and we'll see it tonight. I'm sure he's a guy where he's on the ice rink. You have to know where he's at 100% of the time. If it's 99%, he's probably going to get 2. and on top of that, there's some other athletes, like you said. Ian Scardy's back. He had a good year last year. Brody Medina, that first line is good. They got a freshman centering their second line. Graydon Peterson had him this fall. He's a big kid, great straight line speed, cannon for a shot. He's a threat to score. They have talent on D. It's a good West Fargo team.
They have very good athletes as well. And this Grand Forks Central team, when they performed against East Grand Forks on Saturday, they performed at a level we expected against a team in East Grand Forks that's expected to be highly competitive in Class A hockey in Minnesota this year. But there were a couple of challenges, and Ryan, we talked about those on Saturday afternoon. They gave East Grand Forks a little bit too much time and space. Not overall time, but too much time to operate unabated with the puck in the offensive zone. And so I think Central wants to put on a little extra defensive pressure tonight, and they'll be tested in doing that against some of these more high-end athletes from West Fargo.
Yeah, and kind of thinking back to that game after I kind of sat on it for a couple of days, I mean, obviously the result wasn't what Central wanted, but as that game went on, I mean, that's a tough task, game 2, to play East Grand Forks.
Sure.
First of all. But I think as that game went on, they got more buttoned up defensively. As that game progressed, we saw their penalty kill was great. I think they cut down on the mistakes defensively. Early in that game, we saw their defensemen up in the play too much. No forward help back. A lot of 2-on-1s. A lot of defensive zone lapses. As the game progressed, they got tighter. Hopefully they can carry that into this game because, like you said, if they give some of these high-end players for West Fargo that kind of time and space, it might be in their net.
And then speak about giving them time and space and their ability to score for West Fargo. The last man to stop that is the goaltender, and tonight we're going to see Rylan Burke. Weston Nielsen got the start against East Grand Forks and was really good. Ended up losing that game in overtime, gave up 2 goals in regulation, and it doesn't help that he faced a lot of shots because his team was shorthanded quite a bit during that game. Tonight, different goaltender, so Central still trying to figure out what that mix looks like, or they may roll with 2 throughout the course of the season.
Yeah, I think that's probably the plan for Central. You got 2 young guys who can play. Roll them early, see who takes over the net, although like you said, Weston played great in that game. I thought he was one of the top players in that game. He held Central in there early, especially made huge saves throughout the game, but Berkey can play too.
So we'll see what happens in that spot tonight. One note for Grand Forks Central this evening, Mac Blue will not play. Injured wrist, not a bad injury, so we're told, but tonight he's not going to play, and so that means that the Knights will shuffle their lines just a little bit, and we'll be doing some scoreboard watching tonight as well. Red River's on the road against Fargo North at the Coliseum, and for whatever reason, those two teams, when they have at it, they absolutely empty the tank against one another, and so we expect to hear a pretty good one down there. Oh, absolutely.
When that's in the Coliseum, that place is house of horrors for Red River. They do not perform well there.
They always seem to win, but it never seems to come easy.
It's never easy.
Yeah, they're always coming back from a couple of goals down or something like that. So we'll see what happens in that one coming up tonight as well. We bring this to you courtesy of our premier sports partners. They include Rivard's Turf and Forage, a premium seed dealer in Grand Forks. They mix and match all of their seed varieties at their mixing plant that's right here in Grand Forks. You might not have known that, but when you do business with Rivard's, you're doing business with a local business. They do things here on the local level because science is on their side. They can change their seed varieties to match the growing seasons they anticipate and the growing seasons that we're having. And right now, Premium Ice Melter sounds like that's going to be at a premium when we get this little wintry blast coming up tonight and tomorrow. Rivard's Turf and Forage has the Premium Ice melting product. Rivards.com is how you see their products. Rivards.com. And Grand Trailer Sales, your home for all things trailer in East Grand Forks. Of course, big Greenway fans, and they've got some matchups coming up this week that are going to be interesting as well. So does Central. I think both are dealing with Bemidji at some point in the next couple of weeks. But Grand Trailer Sales is your home for all things trailer. If it's time to step up to a new line of trailer or a new model of trailer to fit your business or fit the recreation that you have, they have it for you on their lot. And if you've got a trailer that needs TLC, they can make it run smoothly again with all the parts and service that you're looking for on Highway 2 East in East Grand Forks. Grand Trailer Sales, once again, one of our premier sports partners. We're going to take a break on our pregame report. When we come back, we'll dive into Drive for the Title. There are Eastern Dakota Conference standings. That's the thing. We've got some teams that have played for points. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that next as we continue with our pregame report. This evening brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment. Stay with us. This is our coverage of high school hockey, West Fargo at Grand Forks Central on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to SprayAdvantage.com.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always...
It's hard to explain what this feels like.
We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com. Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Tonight, we are at Purple Arena as Grand Forks Central plays Game 3 of the season. They're going to go up against the West Fargo Packers here tonight. The Knights trying to rebound from a loss this weekend at the hands of East Grand Forks after defeating Grafton Park River 11-2 to start the season. The Packers had a couple of close scrapes to start the year, getting things going for them, and now they'll come into their first game inside the Eastern Dakota Conference. Our pregame report this evening brought to you by True North Equipment, true to your values and ready to serve you in the greater Red River Valley. And Signature Graphics and Apparel, it's your vision. Make it come to life with Signature Graphics and Apparel. Signature Graphics and Apparel doing custom etching work. You can have patches, you can have other objects engraved and placed on clothing. They say that it's much more durable sometimes than even embroidery, but they still do custom embroidery, silk screening, and vinyl signage. Signature Graphics and Apparel. True North Equipment, they're your headquarters for those John Deere products that you know and love throughout our agricultural region, and now working for you in your homestead and farmstead as well. True North Equipment, 4 locations to serve you in the northern Red River Valley. Let's take a look at Drive for the Title, and we'll show you kind of what we're looking at tonight, as we do have now, as we mentioned, the opportunity to talk about some standings inside the Eastern Dakota Conference. We can kind of show you what's going on as far as what's happening tonight and what's happened so far. So you can see that Central and Fargo Davies have opened up with wins in the league. South Shanley, Grafton Park River had opened up with losses in the league. So Davies has a win over South Shanley. Grafton Park River lost to Grand Forks Central to start things off. So 3 points to Central, 3 points to Davies. No one else with points left in the league, and only a couple of other teams have played. But you take a look on the right-hand side of your screen tonight with Drive for the Title, brought to you by Toys for Trucks, and you can see what's on the line tonight. There are very good games on the line tonight all the way through the region. Red River at Fargo North, we mentioned that. That's always a rock fight between those two teams, particularly at the Coliseum. Devils Lake and Grafton Park River, usually that game has a lot of meaning when it's played. Someone's going to end up in a play-in somewhere, perhaps someplace else, or it might keep you out of one altogether. So that's a big game. Davies at West Fargo Cheyenne, a couple of teams that are jockeying for position, middle of the conference. And then this one is number 3 in the conference versus number 1 in the conference. I mean, it's barely December, Ryan. We're playing a big night in the Eastern Dakota Conference tonight.
We saw this last year, too, and we kind of knew at the beginning of the year, we thought Red River Central would be 1-2 in some order, and then we thought from 3 to 6 or 7 would just be a mess, and it was. And it went the whole year, it was teams moving up and down, and it came down to the last week. I don't think that's any different this year. I think we're going to see the same thing.
I'm going to be interested to see how Red River plays on the road tonight, not just because it's Fargo North, but they gave up 7 goals to East Grand Forks in their opener. That's kind of a pride check for the defending state champions. I kind of wonder what they look like tonight on the north side of Fargo.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I actually talked to Tim Scarproot over the weekend. I ran into him and just kind of rehashed the game and kind of said, yeah, there's some things we got to work on. But, you know, when you get beat 7-2 in a crosstown rivalry or cross state, cross river, whatever it is, that's a little bit of a wake-up call. So you think they would come out with a little bit of zip tonight, try to make up for that loss.
Absolutely. And then on Thursday, still some pretty big games there. Cheyenne coming to Red River. That's no slouch for Grand Forks Red River at home. Devils Lake going to West Fargo. Grafton Park River at South Shanley. And, you know, that's the surprising part of this, is that South Shanley maybe dropping back a step or two from where they've been. They've been all around being competitors for regional and state championships last couple of years, but a little bit of a drop-off from perhaps what we've known from the Bruins of the last 4 or 5 years, something like that.
Yeah, we think back to that team that won state 2 years ago. It was just loaded with talent, senior-laden team. A lot of them left last year. They brought back some names that we had seen. those guys left, so that era is kind of over and done with. So they might be a little bit rebuilding this next couple years.
Yeah, but you can see there's big points that are going to be exchanged both tonight and Thursday night inside the Eastern Dakota Conference, so it's a big run to start the conference season. Drive for the Title is brought to you tonight by Toys for Trucks. They are your car, truck, and Jeep accessory supercenter in Grand Forks. Remember them for performance tires because, like we mentioned, with this glaze of ice that we're supposed to pick up and some of the sleet that fell, if you don't have good tires right now, it's going to get tough to move around on those streets, and it doesn't take much. And remember them for automatic starts right now as well. They can get that car started for you in the morning so you've got a nice warm commute to work instead of having to deal with the icy cold that we might be dealing with here for a while. I understand the weekend's going to be nice and then gets cold after that. Toys for Trucks, 6105 Gateway Drive. You'll find them on the west end of Highway 2 in Grand Forks. We continue with our pregame report tonight, brought to you by True North Equipment and Signature Graphics and Apparel. When we come back, we'll run down the players to watch in this one with our game fuel. It's coming up next. This is our coverage of high school hockey. Grand Forks Central hosting West Fargo on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always calls ahead to schedule service. We are online always. If you suffer from slow download speeds, call our certified network designers and installers. On call, on time, and online. RBB Electric won't leave you in the dark. RBB Electric, your 24/7 electricians.
When you think breakfast, you think Perkins Restaurant. Whether you keep it simple with a fresh baked mammoth muffin and coffee or go all out and try the tremendous 12 breakfast, Perkins Restaurant is your breakfast place. Perkins Restaurant and a great breakfast make the perfect team.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Man of Steel.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new again. Big or small, at Finest Auto Trim, we can cover it all. To check out our services, go to finestautotrim.com or stop out on Demers Avenue in Grand Forks to get your quote today.
As guys, we all love our trucks. That's why Toys for Trucks is your headquarters for all things truck. They carry an amazing selection of rims and tires, plus floor mats, tonneau covers, hitches, plows, and even Excalibur remote car starters for any car, truck, or SUV. And the best part? They can install everything for your truck right at their location. Stop out at Toys for Trucks in Grand Forks to customize your ride, or check them out at toysfortrucks.com.
Wow, Ram buyers, listen up. Right now, get 22% off all remaining Ram trucks at Nelson Auto in Grand Forks. Yep, you heard right, 22% off. You pick 1500 or heavy duty and save 22% right off the top. Or get 0% for 72 months on select Wrangler, Grand Cherokee, Pacifica, or Dodge Hornet. These are huge discounts and 0% is back. It's a great time to take a test drive. Grab these huge discounts and low financing now at Nelson Auto Center, Grand Forks.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports tonight. Ryan Cunningham, Ryan Kuntz with you this evening from Purpur Arena, where we get set for Game 3 of the season for Grand Forks Central. The Knights will take on the West Fargo Packers tonight. Should be a fun matchup. Number 3 in the EDC ranked is West Fargo. Number 1 in the EDC ranked is Grand Forks Central. Looking forward to a big one tonight. Our countdown to face-off. They've got 12 minutes on the board. We're getting ready for the ZAM to come out and work its way through. So that's happening, meaning warm-ups have finished. And We'll be talking about some starting lineups here in a couple of moments as well. Our countdown to face-off brought to you tonight by Nelson Auto in Grand Forks and by Mike's Custom Truck in Northwood. Let's take a look at our game fuel that we have this evening and the players to watch in this matchup coming up tonight. Game fuel is brought to you by Circle K. Circle K with a brand new location on South Washington and Grand Forks, open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, car wash ready to go so you can get that car cleaned up again. I actually have people that have been drawing in the back of my pickup. That must mean that I have to...
Your wife's at it again?
No.
Oh.
These people have drawn very offensive pictures on the back of my pickup.
Oh, like that. Okay.
Yeah, so I need to...
I misunderstood.
I need to take that into the car wash and get that taken care of. I'm a little derelict in that. They've got a great beverage bar, and they've got a huge frozen food section. They can help you out in a pinch at Circle K on South Washington in Grand Forks. So let's talk about the West Fargo players first on the bottom of your screen for those of you that are with us tonight on KNOX Live Sports. And again, video coverage of this matchup is available. KNOXradio.com. Look underneath the sports tab and the live sports link. You can also find it on YouTube by doing a search for KNOX TV, so you can pull it up on your smart device at home. But Bryce Mattern is really the straw that stirs the drink. 7 points, 3 goals, 4 helpers so far this year. He's probably, of the recognizable names coming back, he's the most recognizable name coming back for West Fargo. Great athlete. Noah Becker from the defensive side of things. Good scoring from the blue line this year. Ian Scarry making things happen as that first line center. Those are some quality West Fargo names. We haven't mentioned all of their athletes, but that seems to have jumped off the page as the top line scoring for West Fargo so far this season.
Yeah, you like to see when you're a team, we'll get to Central next year, same thing, but you like to see when you're getting some production from your defensemen. I mean, you hate to see all your forwards being the only option offensively. It's good to see Noah up there getting points, and that kid, he's a smart hockey player. He shoots a ton, Ryan. He reminds me a lot of Mason Ray. We watch Mason with that heavy shot, and every time he shoots it, it might go in the net because it's just so hard and so heavy.
That's the look at West Fargo. Now for Grand Forks Central, this is what's come off the page to us so far this year. And it starts with, of all the names on this team, Logan Nielsen, the most goals on the team at this point. Now, keep in mind, this is a team that scored 11 against Grafton Park River, so it got spread around a little bit. But Logan Nielsen had a very good game for the Knights on Saturday against East Grand Forks. Cooper DeZiel getting in the scoring stretch early. 4 assists for Donovan Bollock, which is on the third line. It's good to see that scoring scattered. You've got 2 forwards and 2 defensemen in the top scoring right now for Grand Forks Central.
Yeah, Finn Lockwood back there, just a guy who, can make plays from back there. He gets the puck moving up north quick. Logan's a guy who, you said, his last goal that we saw against East Grand Forks is a shot from the point, but he is not afraid to carry the puck up the ice. And when he gets moving, he's a big body, he's fast. He can do some things off the rush also.
So let's talk about who's missing on this list because, you've got 4 of them, right? And, for someone that we didn't put him on the list here, Ryder Burris has 3 points and is a plus-minus of 4 so far this season, so he's getting it done. He's going to play on the first line tonight. And then Ryder Rivard is going to play on the first line tonight as well. And that was a third-line kid, so they've mixed it up a little bit in the absence of Mac Blue. But apparently Grand Forks Central wasn't exactly thrilled with their offense against East Grand Forks. They're going to mix and match a little bit, see what they can come up with.
Well, and the other thing, too, is we haven't even mentioned, no Che Kwame tonight. Probably one of their top offensive threats. He's out because of the game misconduct penalty against East Grand Forks. So they're missing, Mac Blue, who's just a heart and soul guy. Whether or not he scores, we saw what he did defensively on the kill last game.
He's a great forechecking forward,
huge
isn't he?
loss.
Yep.
Huge loss there. I hope he comes back quick. And then Che, who is a threat to score every time he's on the ice. But let's focus on the guys you talked about. Ryder Rivard, I said this last broadcast, Ryan, he's automatic inside 20. If he gets a look inside 20 feet, that kid has a knack. He can score, he can shoot. Instant offense, that kind of. And Ryder, we saw him start slow last year, but right before he got hurt, we started to see Ryder Burris. We're like, holy cow.
The 2 games before the Red River game last year, Ryder Burris was making a difference, and we kind of thought that if he would have been on that team last year.
It's a different season for Central, or a different result in that last game possibly. He can be just a dominant force. So Ryder needs to get engaged early in the season. He already has, and he needs to be a top guy because his physicality, he can be dominant.
Those are the players to watch. Our game fuel brought to you by Circle K tonight. Circle K in Grand Forks on South Washington. I'll break in our pregame report. We'll come back with the keys to the game and get ready to drop the puck in this one and announce our starting lineups as well, as Central and West Fargo are set to do battle tonight here at Purple Arena. So stay with us. Our pregame report brought to you tonight by Signature Graphics and Apparel and True North Equipment. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, and KNOX Sports.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need: turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
You've been waiting for a chance to do something that matters, something big without a big price tag. Welcome to Northland Community and Technical College. Here you can have a big impact on a small campus, in classrooms that mirror today's workplace, with instructors who teach from experience and know you by name. You've been waiting for a place like this. Are you ready?
Need seed, think Proseed. Proseed.net.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersales.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales, Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports tonight at Purple Arena. It's Central and West Fargo. We bring you our pregame report this evening, brought to you by Signature Graphics and Apparel. It's your vision. Make it come to life at Signature Graphics and Apparel. And also True North Equipment, true to your values, ready to serve you in the greater Grand Forks area. Let's take a look at our keys for the game that we have for you this evening. Our keys to the game are brought to you by Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World, where it's always hockey season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. And Ryan, your credit to my credit, number 2 for Grand Forks Central, something you've already talked about. Be aware of Bryce Mattern at all times tonight, and part of that is the top one, which is stabilizing the defense. You mentioned you thought they made a couple of steps in that direction during the game with East Grand Forks, but it's going to be paramount tonight to put a body on Mattern when he's out there. And then I also added the transition game. We felt like Grand Forks Central at times might have been about a stride slow, getting up the ice, maybe too patient against East Grand Forks, and East Grand Forks got after him with some some speed. So speeding up that transition game probably wouldn't hurt Central tonight.
Yeah, I liked what East Grand Forks did as far as transition. It was very quick. It was up and down the ice fast. Central was a lot more methodical. That works for them fine, but when you stretch the ice a little bit, it can create chances. I'll add one for Central. With the guys out, Kwame out, Blue out, someone's got to step up tonight.
Yeah, there you go. That could be a great fourth one. Just find somebody to step in and play a big role. For West Fargo tonight, be quick to the net if you've got space. They need a lot of shots. I mean, that's really what that means. Those first two, lots of shots, lots of production. That's how East Grand Forks did it, right?
Yep.
Get space, and if you've got space, don't sit there and look around. Go to the net, take a shot when you have the opportunity. And then we saw what Grand Forks Central can do when they break the ice in half when they're in the offensive end, right? The 3-on-2 game, the stuff off the wall. You have got to go ahead and get something done against Grand Forks Central defensively when they get up into your zone, and don't let them just have the run-of-the-mill making plays.
Yeah, they'll have to defend, too. And the other thing for West Fargo, I would say, and this is a different West Fargo team than we've seen in the past. 2 years ago, if you to come to this game, and you were 5 minutes late to be 4-0 Central.
Right.
This is a different team. First year under Triplett, they were good last year. Second year, keep this game close early.
Yeah, give yourself
Figure
a chance
this
to
game
win.
out, Go in the second period close, tied, up one, down maybe only one. Keep this game close.
Give yourself a chance to win it at the end. That's what's really important tonight for West Fargo. And those are the keys to the game. Brought to you by Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. They know it's hockey season all year at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in and see what's new for the season. They have precision skate sharpening that is hands-free, and they were the first of the kind to do it in North Dakota at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. Stop in, get that edge for the season at Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World. When we come back, we'll drop the puck and bring you starting lineups. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Franson Bank and Trust in Grand Forks is a community bank that caters to businesses, farms, and consumers. They provide customized financial solutions with personalized customer service. Let Franson Bank give you the banking relationship you deserve. Real people, real results.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new again. Big or small, at Finest Auto Trim, we can cover it all. To check out our services, go to finestautotrim.com or stop out on Demers Avenue in Grand Forks to get your quote today.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Since 1972, Jarrell Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need for anything sports. Stop in to Jarrell's and Hockey World. Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need. Turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Residents of the Midwest are known for being self-starters and getting the job done. But when it comes to electrical work, it's best to call a professional. Hi, this is Steve from Bergstrom Electric. It's true that there's a certain glory to accomplishing a task on your own, but it's our experience that not only will save you time, but also the headaches that go along with home improvement projects. A simple phone call to Bergstrom Electric can make all the difference. At Bergstrom Electric, the light does shine brighter.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. A big thank you to Signature Graphics and Apparel, and also True North Equipment for bringing you our pregame report this evening. Let's meet our starters for tonight's matchup as we get ready for hockey. Starting lineups brought to you by Franson Bank and Trust. Real people, real results. FransonBank.com. For the West Fargo Packers, the goaltender tonight is Gavin Norton, the senior. The defenseman will be Jack Josephson on the left point and Noah Becker on the right point. Starting center is Ian Scarry. He's a junior. On his left will be Bryce Mattern, a junior, and on the right wing is Brody Medina, also a junior. Senior in the net, and then 5 juniors in the starting lineup tonight for Jason Triplett, the head coach of the West Fargo Packers. For Grand Forks Central the Knights, the starting goaltender Rylan Burke, a junior. Starting defenseman will be Finn Lockwood and Wyatt Blake. Lockwood is a senior. He'll be on the right point tonight, and Blake is a junior on the left point this evening. Starting center this evening will be Cooper DeZiel, a junior, moving into that starting center's role this season. But he'll have some new wingmates to work with. Ryder Rivard will be on his left wing tonight. A sophomore, Ryder Burris, a senior, will be on his right wing this evening. That's the starting lineup for Grand Forks Central and the Knights. And the head coach of the Knights is Grant Paranica. Central in white with the maroon shield on the chest and some silver and maroon accents, and the Packers in those green uniforms. They didn't go with those black business suits that we've come to really know and love from West Fargo. Remember that? They used they put those together.
This is vintage West Fargo.
It absolutely is, yeah.
By the way, I love these Central jerseys, these white ones.
They really are crisp, aren't they? Yep. I love them. It'll be Cooper DeZiel to take the draw against Ian Scarry. And West Fargo comes away with control. Bryce Mattern on the right wing will push one down into the central zone. And we're underway with high school hockey this evening between the Knights and the West Fargo Packers. Loose puck back into the neutral zone and immediately played back down by Noah Becker for West Fargo, one of their leading scorers on the year. Puck sent out near side, a long look up the ice, and played back up by Finn Lockwood. Long breakout pass. They're going to wave off icing. Quick play out in front of the net, right on top of the crease. Loose puck to Ryder Rivard, who couldn't find it. And West Fargo will deflect one back into the central zone. That was a near miss for Central in the early going. DeZiel through the neutral zone. A stop along the wall. Lockwood trying to retrieve. Now Wyatt Blake will ring the puck back towards his left wing. Ryder Rivard is over to pick it up. Plays it through the neutral zone, and Central will change up as the Packers go back to pursue a puck in their own end. Loose puck to Noah Becker for the Packers. He'll bring it up on the left wing. Plays it through the neutral zone. Graydon Peterson, one of those young players that we were talking about in the pregame report. Ryan Kuhn saying a freshman that stepped up into the second line and looks very good. Here's a pass near side. Gavin Walkenfuss closing the distance into the corner. Back out in front of the net. Good centering pass for Brady Kirkaby, but Kirkaby a hard time holding on to control the puck. It'll slip past behind the West Fargo net and be deflected back out into the neutral zone. Reached down by Logan Nielsen. Big game against East Grand Forks to control that puck. Trey Clausen coming back into the West Fargo zone, but it's Rylan Bradall that comes up with control. Then he lost it. Central back in front of the net again. They've attacked the slot relentlessly in the early going, and Rylan Bradall will push this back into the neutral zone for West Fargo. Packers back after it in transition. They'll get behind the central net with Zach Kaysen, who's got a couple of goals on the season. Puck back into the neutral zone. Clausen, little 3-on-2, trying to get free of pressure from behind. Centered a puck up in front of him for Kirkaby. That was a little loose and unable to be played cleanly. It'll work back into the neutral zone. Central trying to find Boone Canta back on the ice as a third pair defender. Canta had a nice game against East Grand Forks back on Saturday. A stop by Canta. Rylan Spicer will pick up a puck. Hesitated to stay on side. Not sure if it was necessary, but that costs him control of the puck. Goes up against the far wall. Connor Kuhn stepping in for West Fargo. Bollock comes free. Left side finding Jake Spicer. Little short-sided attempt that got deflected. The loose puck lined up far corner. Bollock picks it up. Back to Spicer. Out to the right point. Finn Lockwood whistling a wrister through, and Gavin Norton makes a tough save against traffic. Holds for the whistle with 14:34 left in the first period.
Good shot there for Finn Lockwood. That's what he does. He just sits back at the point and kind of finds a way to get that puck through. Hey, you mentioned Boone Canta, and this should be noted, Ryan. You know, Boone Canta playing D for Central. He's a forward, and he's played forward his whole life, but they wanted to move him back and try him at D, and he had a pretty good game against East Grand Forks.
Yeah, he seemed to step
Great
into the role.
Great assist on the first goal.
Yeah, stepped into the role really well also, and every once in a while, having somebody that can play a little offense back there on the blue line isn't a bad situation as long as you don't lose anything defensively, and he's probably not going to cost you a whole lot in that situation. Now a quick centering pass out in front. A loose puck picked up by Brody Medina, deflected up into the rafters. By the way, they did fix Finn Lockwood's banner.
Hey, there we go. He's back.
They moved him. I think they moved him from the left edge over there. They put him right over the net now. That's what happens when An opposing shot breaks one of your support
Get him on the line of
structures.
fire.
Yep. So they're right over the center of the net now for Finn Lockwood. They did fix it after last game. They'll draw to the left of the new goalie, Rylan Burke, that will step into the goal tonight for Grand Forks Central. Loose puck behind the net. Logan Nielsen looking to come out with it after Central controls the draw on their own end. Nielsen being chased down from behind by Ian Scarry. Puck loose in the right circle. Could have been a hand pass. Took a while to get the call, but we're coming back into the central zone. That brings us back, obviously, to Saturday when, who was it? Was it Van Epps that caught a puck and just tossed it? That might have been Friday against Red River.
No, it was here. It was Van Epps or Panzer, but he caught it right inside his blue line, just Tom Brady'd it 2 zones in, and it went right to Central, so they waved it off.
Right. But this time, they saw it from a long way away as well. The call was made on the opposite side of the ice. Noah Becker trying to get a shot free. It was blocked. Good confrontation by Ryder Rivard that steps out, takes that one off the body. It's back behind the net. Nielsen trying to free it. DeZiel does for Grand Forks Central. Little play up against the far wall. Ryder Burris trying to bring it out. Could not. Comes back to Medina on the right wing. He'll drop in the corner for Bryce Mattern. Mattern with a centering pass, and that lane was jumped nicely by Burris, who kind of read that pass coming. Burris will step in, look to take control with DeZiel behind him. DeZiel tried to hold the puck from behind and could not, and Ian Scarry back up in transition. West Fargo's offside, so they hold up on it. DeZiel picks it up while Central changes. DeZiel up ice, making a pass, and a shot scores for Wyatt Blake. It was 3-on-5 on the ice as DeZiel brought it up into the offensive end against a Central change, but Wyatt Blake coming up with him will score, and it's Grand Forks Central with a 1-0 lead.
Just a good defensive play at the blue line for Central. Transition quickly, like we talked about. Gets that up, and a great play by Cooper DeZiel. Kind of one-on-one there, made a move and slid it over to Wyatt Blake. Love when Wyatt Blake jumps up like that, like we talked about. Great getting your defense in on the offense.
He kind of had to there as we take a look at the replay and the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, and you'll see here Central was going off the ice. It's DeZiel and Blake. They had a little bit of help out there, but a great centering pass, and Blake had a chance to go right down the slot and make something happen. And Grand Forks Central takes the opening lead 1-0 on the all-true scoreboard. We'll draw again coming up in the Packer zone, but Wyatt Blake picks up a goal. That's his first scoring of the season.
Yeah, when we watch that replay, Ryan, just a great recognition of the situation like you talked about, knowing that he was the option on that rush and recognizing that, jumping up, and gets rewarded.
Finn Lockwood on the left point for Central, puts one back into traffic. Gavin Norton will make a save on that. Scoreboard updates brought to you tonight by All-True. Regular screenings from All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. 1-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central here in the early going. Puck along the far wall off the draw. In the West Fargo Packers zone, Gavin Walkenfuss stepping in to battle for control of it. Works into the corner. Graydon Peterson working out, and now you're seeing Central establish a little bit of their space and their size here. Ashton Wiggestrand comes up the ice for West Fargo. He'll turn it back left. Big hit out at center ice. That one laid out Gavin Walkenfuss. He didn't see it coming, but to Gavin's credit, he pops right back up on the ice and keeps going. And Central comes up with a turnover in the West Fargo zone. Walkenfuss back to Trey Clausen. This will go back behind the net with Rylan Bradall for West Fargo, looking for a place to get out of trouble. Zach Kaysen, a backhanded pass to the neutral zone. Graydon Peterson comes back through the zone over to the near side. Collision for a loose puck that floats back in the central end. Logan Nielsen has it. 4-1 Red River is the score down at Fargo North in the early going. My goodness. The Riders getting a little revenge after a tough loss against East Grand Forks.
Like it.
Back on Friday. There might have been a couple of heart-to-heart conversations in that one. That's the score of the All-True scoreboard. Here's Clausen. Actually, correction, that was not Clausen for Grand Forks Central. That was Henning Gibbs, who had a nice junior varsity matchup tonight for Central. He has a chance to step up on the fourth line with some of the absences for the Knights this evening. And Gibbs trying to control a puck along the far side wall. Nielsen right point, playing it back down the boards, looking for Gibbs. Instead, too long. Sam Clevin comes over trying to get a touch on the puck. Works it back to the point. Nielsen holds it back in on the right side. Again behind the net for Noah Becker, looking to come back out. Central relaxes a little bit. Stretch pass from West Fargo that they can't catch up to. Jake Spicer back to pick one off for the Knights. And the Knights will play it back up the near side wall, and Spicer gets free, and now he's got 2-on-2 in front of him, playing with Donovan Bollock. Spicer backhand side, got a shot free. Gavin's able to reach down and get it. Nice little individual play there for Spicer, reading the pass coming off the wall and getting up the ice.
Yeah, that's great. On those 2-on-2s, Ryan, when you see a defender deep like that, that means you can cut across the ice, and that's exactly what Jake Spicer did. And a great play to get a shot on net, kind of made something out of nothing there.
After the first couple of shifts where West Fargo had a bit of pressure and found the puck in between the hash marks a couple of times, it's been all Grand Forks Central so far. 1-0 lead for the Knights. They lead the shots on net 4-0. Finn Lockwood on the left point, another whistler coming through. Gavin Norton, chest high, will make the save. And I think Gavin Norton is beginning to ease in for what could be a busy night stopping pucks, because they're coming after him from both points and distance tonight.
And that's, that's Central's, I think, 5th shot, and that's Finn Lockwood's 3rd.
That's amazing. Yeah, he's been able to get it through, and there hasn't been a lot of traffic in the slot.
Exactly. They have to get somebody out front. He's shooting. Get somebody out front of the net there.
Donovan Bollock losing a puck. Here comes West Fargo. Odd man 3-on-2. Bryce Mattern leading it. Good man to lead it. His pass to Ian Scar was a bit too strong, and Donovan Bollock comes away with the puck for Grand Forks Central. Spicer, another great pass across the ice looking for Ryland Spicer. Instead picked off Alex Arneson, man that we were talking about on the pregame report or before the game tonight. He comes away with the puck for West Fargo and plays it up the ice. Arneson played safety for the Horace Hawks this year, but is skating for West Fargo. You'd expect him maybe to go for the West Fargo Cheyenne Mustangs in that situation. Little wrister from Ryder Rivard deflected. Quick transition, 2-on-2. It's Mattern again looking for his own shot from the high slot, and right there is Ryland Burke to come up with a big stop for Grand Forks Central. That's an early test for Ryland Burke. He gets a pretty good skater. Burke stood up to it, made the stop.
Yeah, and that's kind of, you just saw that. I mean, that's vintage Bryce Mattern there. He's always looking to turn that puck and go the other way. And when he gets going with speed, Ryan, he's crafty. And he can beat you one-on-one, too. He's got some nifty little hands there.
Cooper DeZiel will take the draw for Central versus Zach Kaysen for West Fargo up in the central zone. And Ryder Burris just blew up a Packer into a 2-on-1 with Rivard. Now he leaves it 3-on-1 DeZiel, and his shot got stoned by Gavin Norton. Big play for Gavin Norton for West Fargo against what was a Central 3-on-1 odd man rush. Rivard looking for the puck. It comes back towards the right side. A step up to the point by Burris to try to hold it. And now Burris throws a hit. That's going to clean Graydon Peterson off his skates. The loose puck to Noah Becker in the neutral zone for the Packers. He tries to turn it back up into the offensive end. It's 2-on-2 along the near wall. Little physicality there, Ryan, in a couple of spots.
Now, there we go. That's vintage Ryder Burris.
He just
truck a guy, take the puck, and head down the ice.
And step right through it as well. Centering pass, Burris a shot. Norton a blocker save. That came from the high slot. Zach Kaysen back off to the far side, leaving for Graydon Peterson. Back to Kaysen, stepping up into the offensive end, working towards the right circle. Ends up having it deflected from behind, and Hunter Hildy steps in to take control for the Knights. Little feather pass, stepping up offensive end, Gavin Walkenfuss. A stop along the half wall. Good read by Walkenfuss. Made a pass just a bit too strong, coming back across the ice for Wyatt Blake, who again jumped up into an offensive play after scoring the first goal tonight. 1-0 Central on the all-true scoreboard. 9 minutes to play here in the opening period. Puck against the near side wall. Trey Clausen stepping away from pressure. Overskated the puck, turns back to his left and spins his way up into the offensive end. Backhanded pass, drop-off attempt coming from Brady Kirkaby. Came to the right side boards. Blake stepping up into a play again. Now Walkenfuss steps to the wall. He gets deflected. Trey Clausen trying to come away, hit by two different Packers. Alex Arneson is one of them, and Connor Kuntz is the other. Puck comes back out to the line, and Central will have to get back on side. Loose puck comes back to Kirkaby. He steps up with Walkenfuss. Blades around pressure. Got a shot away, and he scores! How about that? Brady Kirkaby just walking through a pair of defenders right down the left side of the slot and squeaks one in for a 2-0 Central lead.
Yeah, that's incredible. We see the replay on this one. He
Let's
just, like you said, he walked through two West Fargo defensemen.
Let's take a look at it in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, and you'll see this puck turn on the line, and here's Kirkaby. There's one that he gets rid of. Here's two more. Steps right through them twice, came back to his forehand, fought it off, and scored for Grand Forks Central. And that's a heck of an individual play that comes at the 8-minute and 40-second mark of the opening period.
And we'll go back to it. That goal starts. You know where that goal starts, Ryan?
In the neutral zone.
Transition.
Yep. They've done better on that tonight. Gavin Walkenfuss is going to pick up an assist on it. It'll be Kirkaby from Walkenfuss at 8:40 of the opening period. But we talked about that in the pregame report tonight, Ryan, how the transitions could be. They didn't have to be, but they could be better. And I think Central's been quicker to the transitions tonight. They've made a point of that this evening.
Real quick, and I will say, too, West Fargo's defensemen, they're way too deep. They're giving Central a lot of time and space in the neutral zone. You can't do that.
Shot from the right point by Donovan Bollock that gets kicked aside. Loose puck back out to the point, and a crossing pass. Boone Cantha started that play. Crossing pass came back in at nearly point-blank range for Ryland Spicer. He was just denied, and then Boone Cantha tries to put it back up in the offensive end. West Fargo trying to rally to it. A stop by Spicer. He looks to get around Ian Scarry. Puck goes loose neutral zone. Mattern against traffic. Tried to dangle out in the high slot. Ends up losing the puck behind him, but stays with the play. Got it back, then tried to send it back out to the high slot, and it was picked off. Ryland Spicer came away with it and backhands it down the ice to facilitate a Central change with 7:10 to play in the opening period. Puck left wall, picked up by Sam Clevin for West Fargo. He'll come back to Ashton Wiggestrand, trying to skate his way around defensive pressure from Kaysen Panzer. Panzer puts Wiggestrand into the wall after the puck goes loose to the corner. Comes back out towards the left wing, or actually right wing rather. Picked up by Graydon Peterson for the Packers. Peterson tries to step through the circle, went loose back behind the line. Sent back on a ring left side for Henning Gibbs in Grand Forks Central. Then the Packers able to hold it on the left point as that was gobbled up by Ashton Wiggestrand. Knights trying to rally to it, given a little space here, but Packers come back and attack. They've got a man up with Zach Kaysen in the slot, dropping off for Graydon Peterson, and Peterson got blown up on the far side. Brady Fee, fourth line center, took him out. Central comes away with it. A hit on the back end of Henning Gibbs that just sent him into Jack Josephson and took Josephson out of the matchup. And now back the other way comes the Packers with Zach Kaysen 2-on-2. Kaysen comes to his right-hand side, left one across for Connor Coots. Coots missed on a one-timer. Central back up the ice with DeZiel. DeZiel dropping off for Rivard, had it deflected back to him along the wall. It'll come loose to the point. Wyatt Blake tucks it back in for DeZiel in the corner. DeZiel oversteps the puck. It goes back into the far corner off a deflection. Josephson over to get to it, but had it taken away by Ryder Burris. Brister from the high slot whistles wide. Finn Lockwood steps up to the left point to take the rebound. He'll take it down the wing and looks into the corner for DeZiel. Clock to 5:39 to play first period. Central up 2-0. The Packers had their best chance of the night a couple of moments ago when Connor Kuntz missed on a one-timer on the top of the crease, and now it's a 2-on-2 battle for control in the left corner of the West Fargo zone. Lockwood again with a wrister, this time looking for a deflection. That was deflected back out. A loose puck reached out by Ben Petrick for West Fargo. Back to a 3-on-2. Little tap towards the net by Rivard. That got deflected. Brady Lawagi comes away with the puck off the near side for the Packers. He'll turn it back to Connor Kuntz and off to the neutral zone where Petrick tries to get away. He's smothered almost immediately. Burris handing off back to the right side for Wyatt Blake. Back up in the offensive end again. DeZiel tapping out a one-timer, then a backhander. It gets deflected back to Brody Medina of West Fargo, and Medina puts it up the ice looking for Ian Scarry, who's pulled down, and we'll see a penalty against Central coming up for the first power play of the night.
That's why Blake just got caught in a bad spot there and was forced to take down Ian Scarry. Probably a good penalty, because I think if he didn't, Ian Scarry was in clean on a breakaway.
But West Fargo has had a lot of pressure, or I should say rather, Grand Forks Central's had
Yes,
a lot of pressure. 10-2 shots on goal advantage. Penalties going to go against Grand Forks Central's Wyatt Blake, and the penalty will come at 12 minutes and 13 seconds on Blake. And the power play will get started, and it's brought to you tonight by RBB Electric, on call, on time, and online at rbbelectric.com. We put it down in the Grand Forks Central zone. This will be a place that Central's very familiar. They had a lot of penalty kill time against East Grand Forks, including 2 full minutes of 5-on-3. Mattern dropping one back to the high slot, and a miss on a wrister from Noah Becker, just kind of whiffed on it. It'll go to the corner for Boone Cantha, who comes off the high glass, got it back as far as the point. Becker will take a body, ends up absorbing a hit coming from Wackenfuss, and the loose puck will go back to the central line. Mattern takes it back out to the starred line, the red line, separating one side of the ice from the other, and Central will fight for a clear with 1:25 left to go on the power play clock. 4 minutes to play in the opening period. West Fargo on the first power play of the game. Scarry coming near side, took a hit from Clausen after dishing the puck. Brody Medina on the left point, steps into the offensive end, works down the wing and drops it back off to Bryce Mattern. Now back to Becker. Mattern off the left wing, poke check loose by Donovan Bollock. He's one-on-one with Becker up the ice. Bollock with a high wrister up and over the crossbar. May have just taken the shot to force the puck down the ice and eat up some time on the power play, which is less than a minute to go now. Loose puck left side, Mattern back neutral zone, now 3-on-2 the other direction. Mattern trying to dish into the corner. had a chance to make a pass or actually make a shot on that play, chose not to. Loose puck back up to Ryland Braidall on the near side wall for West Fargo. A stop by Central, and Ryder Burris comes away with control. Loose puck at center ice. Burris taking, looking, backhanding to Donovan Bollock. Another long-range wrister just inside the line, and Gavin Norton will kick that aside with 25 seconds left. Been a tough power play.
Another solid kill for Central. I mean, Donovan Bollock, he just gets out there. He's so fast and so gritty that he can just break up plays so quick.
Yeah, you can see where his value is as a penalty killer here, because he seems to have a two-way mind for the game at this point, even down numbers. Finn Lockwood picks up a loose puck, and Central's on the attack. Rivard will chip one up into the offensive end. Tried to gather, could not. But the power play is going to come to an end at that point. No damage done by West Fargo on the man advantage. Finn Lockwood off the left side has a puck taken away. It'll go to loose to the wall, and Ryland Spicer comes away with it. DeZiel left point, down to the doorstep. Rivard chips one in. Just as he did on Saturday, it's Ryder Rivard coming in, cleaning up a pass from DeZiel on the left wing, and it's 3-0 Grand Forks Central.
Now that looked exactly, I mean, not exactly, but again, Ryder Rivard just going hard to the net. I'm not even sure that it might have hit his skates right, but he's going hard to the net. When you do that, good things happen.
Take a look at it again on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. I thought he got a stick on it here, but we'll see. But you'll see DeZiel again setting him up off this left wing. And, yeah, Rivard got maybe the front end of the stick onto that point. But you can tell those two, they're getting used to running that play, aren't they, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, it's nice when hey, he's always going to the net. Score a lot of goals there. I always tell kids that. The guy who spends the most time in front of the net usually ends up getting the most goals.
That's why offsides is illegal in hockey, right? So you can't just camp out on top of the crease and wait for a pass. It'll be DeZiel. It'll be Rivard from DeZiel. Let's see if there's another assist. And Spicer's going to get one as well. So there will be an assist for DeZiel and Ryland Spicer. It'll be Rivard from DeZiel and Ryland Spicer at 14:27 to make it a 3-0 lead for the Grand Forks Central Knights on the all-true scoreboard with 1:57 to play in the opening period. Yeah, I mean, obviously East Grand Forks and West Fargo are different teams, but I feel like conceptually Grand Forks Central's been curing a lot of the things that maybe evaded them back on Saturday tonight.
I think they heard us talking because the transition game has been great. They've been super tight defensively. They've kept, the big studs for West Fargo kind of at bay, haven't given them much. They've looked good so far. Attacking everywhere.
Yeah, Bryce Matterns had the opportunity to do little so far tonight, and Grand Forks Central really has been aggressive offensively. And again, the transitions, as you see, the Knights will ice a puck, will go back into the central zone, but those transitions, Ryan, that we talked about, they have been on it tonight. I mean, they're moving up the ice quickly.
Yeah, West Fargo looks, 16 minutes into this, they look like they're still shell-shocked every time there's a loose puck turned over, and then boom, Central is right back up the ice, and West Fargo can't catch up. It's like they're a step behind them on every play.
And that's not something that Central did against East Grand Forks, and I don't think they were looking to. I mean, again, East Grand Forks can be a little faster, that type of thing, but Central seemed maybe a bit lethargic coming up the ice against them. Brady Kirkeby up into the offensive end for the Knights. Kirkeby out of the right circle trying to get a shot free, did, but it went wide. Clausen playing after the loose puck for Central behind the net, being chased by Connor Kuntz. This will go loose to Medina, then he lost track of the puck as well. Walkenfuss coming over, putting a body in on Sam Clevin, and the puck's out of play in the West Fargo end.
And it should be noted, too, that goal comes right at the tail end of another really solid kill for Grand Forks Central, where they probably had more shots on net than West Fargo. In fact, I know they did. Yeah. I think they had two, and I don't know if West Fargo got any.
This is something that's becoming a little bit of a trend with this Central team, and that is that you like their chances to score when they're shorthanded.
And they're looking for it. There were a couple times there where instead of just throwing the puck down the ice, Central's defenseman got it with a chance to clear, but they waited as the forwards stretched down the ice, and they're looking to hit him for a big play.
Shot by Kaysen Panzer, that's gloved up by Gavin Norton and held. 13-2 shots on goal advantage now in favor of Central, and off the draw, puck will go loose to the neutral zone back towards Central end. Logan Nielsen taking against a chase from Brody Medina, who's a very good athlete for West Fargo. Really good baseball player. We've seen him in a couple of roles there as a puck will be sent up the ice. They might have been calling icing, and then Norton decided to touch it up. And the loose puck is picked up by Gavin Walkenfuss, who tosses it back into the left corner. Central wrestling around for control, but it works back out into the neutral zone, and the Knights have to get back on side. Loose puck picked up by Sam Clevin. He'll come back left wing, finding Bryce Mattern. Looking for Medina. Instead drops it off for Scarry on the wing. And Walkenfuss blocked the opportunity by Scarry to get it free. Mattern's behind the net. Right side, Medina out of the circle. Another block shot. Clausen took that off the body. Medina back to the wall to pick it up for West Fargo. Turned it back to the point. Slap shot by Alex Arneson. May have hit one of his own teammates on that one. Mattern trying to pass across the ice. Had his pass broken up. And Walkenfuss again is there to chip off the glass on a backhand shovel. Be taken by Ryder Burris. Back up the ice. He was looking for DeZiel across the ice. Scarry got back to it first. Sends one out to Mattern, who's one-on-one against Logan Nielsen now. Mattern trying to drag and get to his forehand side. Left the puck behind. And Central finishes up a very good defensive first period, along with 3 goals to take a 3-0 lead going into the first intermission. But that's an impressive first period of hockey for Grand Forks Central.
Yeah, very impressive. I mean, if I'm the coaching staff for Central right now, I'm not sure you can go in and critique a lot from that period. I mean, they were good in every zone. They were good in all situations. That was a great period.
Great first period of hockey for Grand Forks Central, and the Knights lead by a score of 3-0 on the All-True scoreboard. We'll come back with our first intermission next, and our intermission report will be brought to you tonight by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. We'll review some of the highlights from that opening period when we continue in a couple of moments here at Purpur Arena. It's Grand Forks Central 3, West Fargo 0 in Eastern Dakota Conference hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new again. Big or small, at Finest Auto Trim, we can cover it all. To check out our services, go to finestautotrim.com or stop out on Demers Avenue in Grand Forks to get your quote today.
When you think breakfast, you think Perkins Restaurant. Whether you keep it simple with a fresh baked mammoth muffin and coffee or go all out and try the tremendous 12 breakfast, Perkins Restaurant is your breakfast place. Perkins Restaurant and a great breakfast make the perfect team. Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need for anything sports. Stop into Jarrell's and Hockey World.
Residents of the Midwest are known for being self-starters and getting the job done. But when it comes to electrical work, it's best to call a professional. Hi, this is Steve from Bergstrom Electric. It's true that there's a certain glory to accomplishing a task on your own, but it's our experience that not only will save you time, but also the headaches that go along with home improvement projects. A simple phone call to Bergstrom Electric can make all the difference. At Bergstrom Electric, the light does shine brighter.
As guys, we all love our trucks. That's why Toys for Trucks is your headquarters for all things truck. They carry an amazing selection of rims and tires, plus floor mats, tonneau covers, hitches, plows, and even Excalibur remote car starters for any car, truck, or SUV. And the best part? They can install everything for your truck right at their location. Stop out at Toys for Trucks in Grand Forks to customize your ride, or check them out at toysfortrucks.com.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
Franson Bank and Trust in Grand Forks is a community bank that caters to businesses, farms, and consumers. They provide customized financial solutions with personalized customer service. Let Franson Bank give you the banking relationship you deserve. Real people, real results.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Our apologies for the false start here. We'll get to that coming up here a little bit later in our intermission report. We welcome you to our first intermission tonight. Our intermission report brought to you by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel, and High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks. And for those of you that are viewing tonight, looks like we might have an extra long intermission because the poor girls, this is the, they call the blades? Is that what
they're the Ruby Blades.
The
so this
Ruby
is
Blades.
The youngest line that we got.
Of figure
Older
skating
blades,
in Grand Forks. And so they're waiting anxiously for their music to get started, but unfortunately they're having some issues with the sound system below. And the clock is not running in the intermission right now either, which means that we
I think we pulled the team off the ice here, Zam, and then figure out the music, and second intermission we get the girls going here.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could do that, or we can do this, too.
Yeah, that's fine, too.
I mean, we got started early tonight. Nobody has any place to be, right? It's going to storm by about 10 o'clock. Why not keep the bus here a little bit longer?
Hunker down, everybody.
It's 3-0 Grand Forks Central over West Fargo at the end of a period of play. As we take you to our intermission report, brought to you tonight by our friends at Grand Forks Welding and Machine and our friends at High Plains Water. With a system from High Plains Water, your quality of living goes up in your home, and it goes up in a big way. Better tasting tap water so you'll drink more, cleaner laundry with less detergent, and appliances that are going to last longer, which will save you money. High Plains Water does that for you with a system. Find out more at High Plains Water in Grand Forks and Grand Forks Welding and Machine. Bringing you our intermission report tonight as well. They are the Men of Steel in Grand Forks. Grand Forks Welding and Machine located at 1812 Gateway Drive. If you break or twist a shaft or you've got holes that develop that you need welded up, they can tighten those things and get you ready to go so that whether it's during your downtime right now before you start another season or going back and forth between a project, you can get back going fast. Grand Forks Welding and Machine ready to do the work for you at Grand Forks Welding and Machine. They are the Men of Steel at 1812 Gateway Drive. Well, Central outshoots West Fargo 13-2. Obviously 3 goals on the board, which is a great result offensively. But, Ryan, what you and I were impressed with in a 3-0 lead for Central was just the way they got up the ice in transition and the way they defended. The key players for West Fargo got to touch the puck a little bit, put themselves in a spot that was good enough a couple of times, but really Grand Forks Central was very tight on the defensive side of things.
Yeah, they committed hard on their end of the ice. They broke up most of the plays that West Fargo was trying to make. I thought West Fargo got a little bit cute in a lot of these, Ryan. You talked about it. You shoot early, shoot often. West Fargo did not do that. They tried to make passes when shots were available, and Central made them pay. And all of those goals, all 3 of those goals started like we talked about during the first period. It's all transitional plays. A lot of them started in their end of the ice, just making a good, solid defensive play, getting that puck up the ice quick, catching West Fargo sleeping, attacking off the rush.
Let's take a look at the highlights that we had in the opening period. They're brought to you tonight by Proceed. If you need seed, think Proceed, proceed.net, and to get started with Wyatt Blake. And this is a great read by a defender. Central was going off on a change, and that's Cooper DeZiel getting the puck to Wyatt Blake. But like you mentioned, great read by a defender, knowing that the rest of the team is changing. It's his option at that point. Then later, you're going to see a big save coming in here. This came from the new goaltender tonight. For Grand Forks Central. Actually, this may be a scoring play for Central. No, there's the big save, and that was for Gavin Norton that made the save against a Central 3-on-1 at that point. So it's not like everything was terrible for the West Fargo goaltender. That's a 3-on-1 that he stood up to. But then later, here comes Kirkaby just stepping through defenders, goes all the way down to the top of the crease and scores on his own. And then Ryder Rivard getting back in the scoring streak. And it seems like when Cooper DeZiel touches the puck on a point, he's looking for Rivard by the net, and he found him. And Rivard off the backhand side of his blade is able to score in that situation. And those are the highlights that we have for you tonight out of the first period. Brought to you by Proceed. Need seed? Think Proceed, proceed.net. But again, what really stood out on those plays, there was something that happened really nicely individually on all 3. Wyatt Blake recognizing his team is changing. I've got to be the offensive guy. Brady Kirkaby just absorbing hits and walking his way through the slot. And then Cooper DeZiel's looking for Ryder Rivard right now, and that's a really nice combination. Saw it on Saturday, saw it again here in the first period.
Yeah, I don't even know who made the play on the wall to start that third goal. It might have been Bollock out there in a middle of a change, but he made a great play on the wall, throws it across the ice to DeZiel, who then goes back across the ice to Ryder, going to the net. But like you talked about, I watched that Wyatt Blake goal. I could watch that all day. I'd like to think maybe his 16U coach might have told him this fall, hey, jump up in the play, man. Don't be afraid. But Maybe not. I don't know.
Well, they got the music started here, so the Ruby Blades are getting started here, so that's good. They had a couple of false starts, but they're rolling right now.
Yeah, now we're going.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And you know what? They're not going to convert an illegal shift into a false start. Never mind. Scoring summary that we have for you for the opening period with Who Lit the Lamp, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. Wyatt Blake scores at 3:37 with an assist from Cooper DeZiel. Brady Kirkeby scores at 8:40 on an assist from Gavin Walkenfuss. Ryder Rivard scores on assists from Rylan Spicer and Cooper DeZiel. And that's Who Lit the Lamp. Cooper DeZiel is on the board twice tonight with a pair of assists. Single goals each for Ryder Rivard, Brady Kirkeby, and Wyatt Blake. And we have assists as well, single assists for Gavin Walkenfuss and for Rylan Spicer. And that's Who Lit the Lamp in the opening period, brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter. I have asked Bergstrom Electric for some advice on how to keep all my Christmas trees going outside.
Oh, yeah, you got a whole thing going.
I've got 13 Christmas trees lit up outside my house.
Saw that. That's a lot of Christmas trees.
You want to come over and help me take them down? Probably not, huh?
I got my own stuff. I'm good. Thanks for the invite, though.
One penalty in the opening period, and that penalty was taken by Wyatt Blake at 12:13. There was one opportunity on the power play for West Fargo, and they came up empty on that power play. In fact, Central had a couple of chances. It was Blake for holding a 2-minute minor at 12:13, and Central killed it off. And that is your first period summary, brought to you tonight by our friends at High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. We're going to come back with more in our halftime report in a couple of moments. I should say, rather, our intermission report in a couple of moments, so do stay with us as the Ruby Blades will find their way off the ice. They'll come out and zam, and after an extended first intermission, we'll get ready for a second period of hockey.
So I know you don't like Taylor Swift, but what are your thoughts on One Direction? Because every one of those songs was great that they just played. Okay, all right, noted.
I mean, I'm not saying I have thoughts about One Direction one way or another. I'm just really concerned about your taste in music, Ryan.
I like a little bit of everything.
You're a hockey player from Red River. You're supposed to be Metallica'd up. You know what I mean? That's your thing.
Oh, yeah. Hey, we'll play some Enter Sandman in the locker room. Absolutely.
Okay.
But we'll also do a little One Direction.
I mean, I know you listen to Snoop and Dr. Dre, and then you're out here listening to One Direction and Taylor Swift?
I like all of it. Everything.
You're trying too hard to be Dad of the Year.
Hey, listen.
Everyone knows I'm going to win that award.
My brain says no. My heart says yes. And there's just the way it is.
Ryan Kuntz is a wonderful father. His daughter's here again. She hangs out with him at all the hockey games. She's a social butterfly. Kind of goes around and
she loves the high school games. She loves the UND games. So she's my little hockey buddy.
You got her hooked, huh?
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah, I've got one that's playing hockey at this point, and I'm just not sure how it's going to turn out. Let's get some scores when we come back here in a couple of moments on our All True scoreboard. We'll do that next on our intermission report, brought to you tonight by High Plains Water and Grand Forks Welding and Machine. The Knights lead 3-0 over the West Fargo Packers. We're back with more next on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need. For anything sports, stop into Jarrell's and Hockey World.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need: turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We're through a period of play tonight as an extended intermission continues after musical troubles that kept the Grand Forks Ruby Blades at bay for a while. I mean, that musical trouble was some of the best defense that's been played tonight, but Central's defense in that first period was just a hair better.
Yeah. I don't even know where to go with that one, Ryan.
3-0. Grand Forks Central over West Fargo here tonight. Score update brought to you by Alltrue. Regular screenings with Alltrue's care team can detect symptoms and illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org or call 780-5000. Grand Forks Red River is taking out some frustrations on Fargo North tonight. It is 6-2 in the matchup with the Spartans down at the Fargo Coliseum tonight. We saw scoring from Beadall, from Ulmer, from Gruenberg, from Tyson Ulmer again, from Thompson, and Ryan Wasvik getting on the board tonight with a goal and an assist early. He's got 3 points in that 6-goal barrage tonight, and he was missing for Grand Forks Red River against East Grand Forks, and it's good to see Ryan Wasvik back on the ice tonight.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. Him and Mac Blue got hurt in the same weekend this fall playing fall hockey, and both were stretched into the season. Mac was able to make it back, obviously, for the start of the season, but Wasvik not. Like you said, he would have been nice to have against East Grand Forks. I mean, that adds depth to their scoring and a big body. We saw what he did last year in the state tournament where that line was so good. So good to see him back.
Absolutely. So good to see him back. And again, our scoreboard updates brought to you tonight by Alltrue. Both teams have big games coming up on Thursday. West Fargo's back at home, or I should say rather, Red River's back at home in the league against West Fargo Cheyenne. Meanwhile, Central goes on the road to take on Bemidji coming up on Thursday in some non-conference hockey. But tonight it's 3-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central over West Fargo in a game inside the league. Second period about to begin, and we'll come back with more as the intermission report continues next. So do stay with us. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
You've been waiting for a chance to do something that matters, something big without a big price tag. Welcome to Northland Community and Technical College. Here you can have a big impact on a small campus, in classrooms that mirror today's workplace, with instructors who teach from experience and know you by name. You've been waiting for a place like this. Are you ready?
Feed seed, think proceed. Proceed.net.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey tonight in the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. Well, things got out of control down at the Fargo Coliseum in short order. We had told you a couple of moments ago that Red River had a 6-2 lead over Fargo North at the Coliseum. North has come back to score 3 consecutive goals and now trails in that game by a score of 6-5, and they must only be early second period at best. I believe that game started at the same time as ours tonight, 7:30. And so that game has turned into an absolute Donnybrook going on down at the Fargo Coliseum. But we mentioned it. I don't know if it brings out the best or the worst in both of those teams, but it brings out something, because nothing's easy for Red River at the Coliseum. Nothing is ever easy for Red River at the Coliseum, and Fargo North's not making it easy after a 6-goal upright, or just a barrage tonight from Red River to get things started.
Yeah, usually that game is 3-2 and just an absolute dogfight, like you said. But it looks like North got. By the way, the new website, I was just kind of dogging it because it was hard to find, but now they have like updates.
They have live scoring.
So that's a real nice touch.
Yeah, Bob Gillen's doing his thing out in Minot with ND High. It's now High School Hockey ND.
Yep.
.com. It's not ND High School Hockey anymore. It's High School Hockey ND. Put the ND at the end, and you'll find it. You mentioned that Fargo Davies is leading West Fargo Cheyenne tonight, if I'm not mistaken.
Like it was 2-1 last I saw.
I mean, that would be kind of a surprise if Fargo Davies ends up with a couple of wins, because they weren't highly anticipated to, be a big player, but they've got a win already this year. And if they go beat West Fargo Cheyenne, team that was ranked 4th in the league, boy, that middle of the league is starting to look a little messy all of a sudden, isn't it?
Yeah, you come out early, Ryan, and you start banking points early. I mean, those are ones that come back at the end that can really help or hurt you depending on what side of the scoreboard you're on.
Score from girls hockey, the Knight Riders lead as well, 3-0 over Devils Lake after 2 periods of play. But here's the story. Devils Lake, again, has come out with some goaltending phenomenon, because the shots are 37-3 Knight Riders after 2 periods of play. 37 shots, 3 goals. That girl will have 50 saves before the night is over tonight, whoever's playing goalie for Devils Lake.
That's one thing you can say about Devils Lake. They always got a goalie. Apparently boys and girls.
Yeah. That's just the way they do things over. They really believe in.
I think it's Laney Parker, I believe, is the goalie's name. I coached her brother.
Well, and remember how Jacques Lemaire used to say, your job is to stop the puck. And they do that. They do a lot of that over there in Devils Lake. How about this? The Beastie Boys in Sabotage.
They had some throwback hits
I'm
tonight.
liking it. I really am. I'm liking some of the music that Central has chosen here tonight. All right, we're getting ready for the second period here. I don't know that there's any need for adjustments here for Grand Forks Central, Ryan, for West Fargo.
There's not.
If you've got open ice and you're West Fargo, you got to take the shot at this point. You're not looking for the pretty goal now. You're trying to put pucks on net. Would that be the main adjustment you're making?
That offensively, yeah. They got to shoot the puck. I mean, 2 shots is just not going to get it done. I don't care who's in net. And then on the defensive side of it, they have to commit a little bit more. They're pretty loose in their end of the ice, and a lot of turnovers for West Fargo. A lot of turnovers, which Central has turned into chances and goals.
Cooper DeZiel is going to go to the face-off circle for Grand Forks Central, and West Fargo will counter with Ian Scarry. And right now the officials trying to scrape up the dot. Scully backs away, now steps back in. We're back underway. Second period hockey. Central leading by a score of 3-0. Bryce Mattern attacking the slot right off the draw for West Fargo. Puck loose back behind Central's net. Wyatt Blake's been all over the ice tonight. Came up with a touch there. It comes back to Brody Medina on the left wing for West Fargo. He'll put it back behind the net. Scully trying to make a pass back to Mattern. They're certainly trying to attack the crease and the slot a lot more aggressively here to start the second period than they did throughout the first, for the Packers, that is. Jack Josephson back to the center line. Dumps this back into the offensive end. Central back to get to it. Blake again off the near side wall looking to break out. It goes loose to the high slot, picked up by Ryder Rivard. Central trying to come back up the ice. Burris reaching for a puck. West Fargo committed back to the defensive side rather quickly. Central dumped it in, but would have been offside. And Josephson will go back to get it for the Packers behind the West Fargo net. Breakout to Medina, long stretch pass, looking for Mattern in the corner. Mattern turning, realizing his team is changing up behind him for the short change. Takes it to the corner and tries to pin the puck down and hold on. Be taken by Finn Lockwood from behind. Loose to the far wall. Back behind the net for Central. Kaysen Panzer with the touch. Lockwood trying to feather up the boards for Walkenfuss. Puts it back behind the net. Panzer again. Panzer taking a look, coming back out towards the left wing. Lockwood cross-ice pass, a reach by Burris, can't get to it. This will be icing against Central, and we'll go back into the Knights zone for a draw with 15:37 left. West Fargo looked a little bit more put together in that first minute and a half.
A little bit more put together. They a little bit of pressure. But what I will say is, and you can just see it every time, Mattern gets the puck. There's two Knights on him instantly. There's a body. There's a stick. I mean, they're not dumb. They know exactly what he's capable of, and they have shut him down.
They'll draw to the left of Rylan Burke, who is the goaltender of record tonight for Grand Forks Central. And for whatever reason, Ryder and Rylan have become the most popular names in hockey. Here's a turnover. Kirkaby scores. Brady Kirkaby with his second goal tonight. Just a loose puck turnover for West Fargo that they're going to want back. And Kirkaby unassisted will make it 4-0 Central.
That's another one. Kirkaby just kind of something out of nothing there, right, Ryan? I mean, a goal that shouldn't have happened, but he just makes a play. And 4-0 Central.
Yeah, we'll take a look at it in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. But this is just a mishandle for West Fargo in their own end. They had everything going the right way. Puck's there, and Arneson just ended up missing on it, trying to make a pass. Kirkaby was right there to pick it up. Credit Kirkaby for coming up the ice and following the play. They've been aggressive tonight that way.
I think Kirkaby kind of tapped his stick a little bit, just a little quick stick tap, lodged the puck loose, and then snuck around and scored.
Another great individual play. Kirkaby's had a couple of really nice individual plays, and he scores unassisted. Time of the goal will be at 1 minute and 34 seconds of the second period. And West Fargo falls behind by a score of 4-0 now to Grand Forks Central. Breakout pass to Graydon Peterson. He didn't get a piece. That'll be icing. And we'll head back into the Central zone for a draw. A little better than 2 minutes into the second period.
Hey, we talked about somebody stepping up. I love Brady Kirkaby playing on the second line, has 2 goals. Ryder Rivard on the first line, he's got a goal. So there you go.
But you mentioned Kirkaby. He was a fourth liner against East Grand Forks on Saturday afternoon. And he has been great tonight, and he's been great individually. He's done some things that are just tough to do on your own. Boone Cantor with a wrister from the left point after winning control of the draw. Puck will go loose into the neutral zone. Donovan Bollig gets paid a visit almost all the way into the Central bench. And we'll see a whistle coming up as a puck may have gone out of play. Another hand pass against Central. Connor Kuntz came over and threw the body on Donovan Bollig. Bollig skates away unfazed. And we'll go into the Central zone to draw. Timeouts and draws tonight brought to you by Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround promotional goods store in Grand Forks, and brought to you by Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier of egg tires in the region. Breakout pass to Donovan Bollig off the draw. He'll come up into the West Fargo zone, being chased by Rylan Bradall. There's another Rylan. Everybody was naming their sons Rylan at that point for whatever reason. What is that, 16, 17 years ago? Back up ice, Bollig, wrister. Gavin Norton will step on that and hold on for the whistle. I'm just wondering, I mean, everybody's Rylan here. So
they probably thought it was unique at the time and then realized everyone was naming their kid.
Well, I mean, if you're 16, you were born in, 2008? So these names are 08, 07 choices. Rylan, Ryder. I mean, I must have missed it. Name my kid Josh. I mean, I could have come up with something more creative than that.
Yeah, you could have.
I missed it. Well, I let my wife name him. That was the issue. She liked that name, Josh, for some reason.
Her fault, huh?
Well, That's what you do when she's not here to defend herself. Blame it on her. Finn Lockwood back to get the puck for Grand Forks Central on the far wall. Turning it back into the neutral zone. A retreat by Ryland Spicer. He's been good with the puck tonight. Turns it back into the neutral zone. Lockwood from range. Put that one wide of the net. Just kind of a dump in, though. Donovan Bollock will do the chasing. Bollock steps away from some pressure. Looked wrap around. Instead tried to come back out to the high slot, and that was broken up by West Fargo. Ben Petrick comes up with the takeaway. Packers up ice 3-on-3. Petrick gets it back. High slot wrister. Gloved up by Ryland Burke. Nice play for Ryland Burke to reach out, make the glove save on it. That's just the third shot that he's seen tonight, but I'll tell you what, you can get pretty bored back there when you're not seeing a lot of work. It's tough
hard
to be ready.
Yeah,
huh?
it's hard to stay focused back there. That was a shot from 15 feet. I mean, right inside the slot, and he was out on top of his crease, good position, and just calmly made that save.
It made it look like it was easy too. Cooper DeZiel will take the draw against Ian Scarry. DeZiel knocks the puck back out to the point, but West Fargo got it. Arneson with a one-timer that's broken up on the way through. Bryce Mattern picks up the loose puck in the corner, goes looking for Medina, and then Scarry steps in as well. But Scarry's pinned up against the boards by Kaysen Panzer for Grand Forks Central, and this turns into 2-on-2 back behind the central net. Panzer trying to pull free of Scarry. Panzer does free the puck, but it ends up being tripped up by Scarry coming out. Mattern got a touch on it. Here comes Central looking 3-on-2 if they can get there. Racing up the ice, Burris got free, drives it in towards the net. Gavin Norton will reach out and get a glove on it. Burris never really had a chance to gather that in cleanly, and so just deflected it to the net. And that may have saved Norton a chance of getting a really big shot right in his grill.
Yeah, I thought there could have been a slash on that, Ryan. Thought there was a stick on Ryder's hands there, but nonetheless, another great play by Ryder where he just powers his way through a defender.
When we were here on Saturday, we noticed for a while that we weren't calling a lot until they had to start really tightening it up, right? I think there's more of an emphasis on just letting them play a little bit, you know?
I'm fine with that.
I am too.
Chop on a breakaway, that one you kind of got to, but whatever.
Spoken like the forward, right?
Yeah, we're not going to criticize officials here tonight.
Well,
not
yet.
Or maybe we will.
Yeah,
we'll see.
We make no promises, folks. Scarry will take the draw against DeZiel in the West Fargo zone. DeZiel taps it back to the high slot. No one home but Packers. However, that'll be deflected loose into the neutral zone, and now nobody's home at all. Loose puck to Alex Arneson, and here comes West Fargo up ice down numbers. Arneson has his shot blocked by Logan Nielsen. Got frustrated and paid Logan Nielsen a visit. That's going to lead Central into a 3-on-1. Burris up the ice looking, taking short-sided shot. Norton looking for it, trapped it under his left blocker, and then holds on. As Burris got up the ice 3-on-1, decided to take the shot. He may have wanted to drop that one back to DeZiel, who was in prime position.
Yeah, I think he did. He looked back and just held that look like he wanted to make a pass, and then turned and made a quick shot on net. A big save by Norton. I thought that kind of snuck in that first, Ryan, didn't you?
I thought so too. I thought it got underneath his blocker for a moment, but you could see that it wasn't behind him, and he felt like he was on top of it looking down for the puck. And you make one wiggle there, and that puck is empty and loose, right? So it was a big play for him just to stay on top of it and keep that goal out of the net. Here's a shot from a tough distance. That was off a deflected puck to Ashton Wiggestrand. He got that one through as a weak bounder, and Ryland Burke stayed with it, was able to turn it aside. Knights come up the ice with Boone Canta driving up into the offensive zone. Ryland Bradall will beat him to the corner for West Fargo. Puck turned off the far boards. Knights trying to get back to it. Deflected back in the neutral zone. Wyatt Blake off towards the near side. Gibbs looking up the ice. Will toss that one up into the offensive end. Bradall again for West Fargo, waiting for an opportunity to come up ice. Skates free into the neutral zone and plays it down the left wing. Floats back towards the near side, right off the front of the West Fargo bench. That might not have taken the hop that they were hoping for. Loose puck again to Henning Gibbs. Gibbs will come up into the offensive end, and he's got Walkenfuss pulling free. Nearly had a chance on the forehand. Walkenfuss comes back, got to the high slot, stepped between a pair of defenders. Puck's loose in front of the net. A swipe at it again by Kirkeby, who's looking for the hat trick tonight. Ends up coming up empty on it, and Zach Kaysen comes away with possession for West Fargo and flips one up into the crowd. And we'll see a draw coming up in the central zone, or else it's center ice, one of the two. Looks like we're going in the middle tonight. It's going to be on the central line. I felt like West Fargo dumped it in without a deflection. Yeah, they're going to draw on the line.
Yeah, it's outside. So nice little effort there from Gavin Walkenfuss. You know, we saw him last year, Ryan, emerge as probably their top offensive threat.
One of them, certainly,
At the end of that season, remember that state championship game, how good he was?
He was. Yep.
Man, this kid's going to be great. And he's a little slow on the points, at least this year, but you can see it when he gets the puck. He's got the potential to be a really good player.
Well, you know, that Central team last year, they had some really, really good hockey players. You just didn't know if they had guys that were always looking to score, right? Yeah. And now this year you got some guys that can really do that. Walkenfuss is going to be one of them. He drops a puck off on the left wing that was broken up. Mattern had eyes as big as saucers. There was no one in front of him up the ice at that point. He ends up losing the puck but drags it back as far as the offensive end, then loses it again. And here comes Walkenfuss again, going up against a pair of West Fargo Packer defenders. He has that poke checked away by Noah Becker, who's played a pretty good defensive game tonight for the Packers. Breakout pass to Scary, and this will be an offside call against West Fargo. 4-0 Grand Forks Central on the All-True scoreboard with 10:33 to play in the second period. Shots are 17-4. What's going on down in Fargo?
No, that one's like, you look at that scoreboard, it's just like, wow.
It was 6-5. Is it still 6-5?
Oh, I'll check for you.
Yeah, it was 6-5. Central or Red River was up on Fargo North 6-2 at one point in that matchup, and then North scored 3 consecutive goals in the Coliseum to make it 6-5, and we're just kind of keeping track of that score tonight. Nielsen has one pulled aside, and Ryland Burke will put a stick in front of it. And now we've got some pushing and shoving, and a lot of pushing and shoving in the corner, and some guys are going to have a chance to cool off in the bin on this one after Burke made a stop. West Fargo approached the net, and a pushing and shoving match ensued on the end of it.
We think Logan Nielsen in the middle of that?
They're not sending anybody to the box yet.
No, I think we're just going to keep going. That seemed odd because that was a lot of punching.
I'll tell you what, if this game is football, there are offsetting personal foul penalties, and there's no question. In hockey, it's like, okay, guys, break it up. Let's go draw.
Well, you know, you can call coincidentals.
They didn't call anything.
They called nothing.
Ryland Spicer will draw against Connor Kuntz out on the central line. Loose puck picked up, and Burke takes a shot from the high slot from Ben Petrick. That shot gets knocked away, and the loose puck to Donovan Bollock on the near side boards for Central. He looks up into the offensive end. It seems like after that fourth goal, and really throughout the second period, West Fargo's played a better defensive game. Central's had more of a struggle trying to get up the ice. Packers are looking for a penalty here against Grand Forks Central for a hook, and it looks like they're going to get it. Yeah, they're going to see a hooking call coming up against the Knights, and West Fargo will have their second chance to skate on the power play tonight. Penalty's going to come at 7:03 of the period. And it looks like they're going to get Logan Nielsen.
Yeah, he seems confused, but there was a lot going on down that corner there. So I feel like that's a good call. But boy, oh boy, if West Fargo ever needed a power play goal, this is probably it, huh?
Yeah, down 4-0, but they've been better here in this second period. And that's the thing, is that they've been better in period number 2. Logan Nielsen will get the gate for hooking at 7:03. And the power play brought to you by RBB Electric. On call, on time, and online. RBBelectric.com. The Knights will clear out into the neutral zone off the draw. And we see Bryce Mattern back to try to set a play. Jack Josephson will come up into the offensive end for West Fargo to try to set up the power play cycle. It comes back to the high slot for Noah Becker. They'll go at it with 3 defenders and a pair of forwards. There's a shot in on Burke. He knocks it aside. A rebound dangling dangerously. Josephson picks it up, puts it in front of the net. The Knights trying to clear, and they do. And now Ryder Burris comes away with it. Tried to make a pass up the ice that was broken up by the Packers. It stays loose on the central line, and Burris comes away with it again. Backhands one to Cooper DeZiel. 2-on-2 rush. DeZiel with the chance that was deflected. Norton was looking at that shot, but Noah Becker got back to block it. And now West Fargo will come back up into the offensive end to reset their power play. Bryce Mattern up to the zone. Near side circle. Fires out of the left wing, and it went wild. Loose puck to Brody Medina, who gets shoved from behind. And Ryder Burris has been a wrecking machine tonight. He threw that body on Medina. A hit into the corner as Wyatt Blake tries to chase down the loose puck. Turns it back to the point for Arneson, and now back in for Scary. Scary is stopped, turning towards Mattern. Puck broken up along the line, rung back to the far wall. A reach for Noah Becker to get to it. We're down to 40 seconds to go already on this power play for West Fargo. They're still looking for a good opportunity on it. Mattern makes a pass. Right side, open up. Braden Peterson, there's a chance. And another big stop, that time by Ryland Burke, on a chance from Peterson that got free as the power play continues to cycle. Mattern a stop and a look into the corner for Graydon Peterson. Peterson a stop. He'll come back to the right point. Bradall surveying his options. Arneson dialed up for a one-timer, missed on it. It goes loose behind the net. Kaysen turns it back top of the right circle. Another chance in on Berg. He breaks that one up from Peterson out on the top of that right circle. Peterson again from the high slot. That shot gets deflected into the neutral zone. And that will be the end of the power play. So a very quick power play. West Fargo got some chances away, and the best penalty killer there was the new goaltender tonight, Rylan Burke for Grand Forks Central. Now a takeaway. Walkenfuss into the corner for Bollock. Down numbers. Out in front, Walkenfuss scores. Again on the back end of a power play cycle for West Fargo. The Knights get up the ice in transition and create a scoring chance, and Walkenfuss makes it 5-0 Knights.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like West Fargo just gets lost after that power play, whether it's changing, trying to get the right guys on the ice, but the late coming back, and they paid for it again.
Time of the goal will be at 9:20. Gavin Walkenfuss will come up with a goal. I believe there will be an assist from Trey Clausen on it. Walkenfuss' second goal, 4th point, and we've seen number 10 flying around tonight.
Yeah, good to see him get a goal.
Yeah, he's looking to get into the offensive line, isn't he?
Yeah.
There's going to be an assist for Donovan Bollock on this, and there will be an assist for Trey Clausen. So it'll be Walkenfuss from Bollock and Clausen. Time of the goal at 9:20 of the second period. Knights go up 5-0 and are coming back up the ice, and Bollock with a chance that leaked through and ends up going just wide into the corner. It comes back towards the point. Kaysen Panzer trying to chase it down. Back to Bollock on the line, who will turn one back to Panzer, trying to move his way up through the neutral zone. That shot got deflected. Graydon Peterson stepping up offensive end. Boone Canta, great pass into the middle of the neutral zone. Perhaps not the best received that time from Spicer, but he tracks it down and tries to turn his way back up into neutral ice. Deflected loose of Zach Kaysen, and now a loose puck to Ashton Wiggestrand for West Fargo. Wiggestrand coming up into the offensive zone. He'll be greeted far corner by Kaysen Panzer. Turns it back to the point. Wiggestrand again in the corner, looking to play it back behind the net. Connor Kuntz coming in there for West Fargo. Instead, cycle back over towards the near wall for Central. Henning Gibbs trying to make his way up the ice. The breakouts and the transitions have not been as neat and clean in the second period for Central. That's one thing West Fargo's done.
Well, listen, you put 4 up on a team in the first period, or 3, whatever it is. Pride kicks in at some point. West Fargo's pushing a lot harder than they were earlier in this game.
Going to see a penalty, and a puck's going to be played with a high stick here. I don't believe it's going to be a penalty. We're just going to see a puck played with a high stick. And we may be headed back into the West Fargo zone for a draw.
All the way down.
But yeah, the shots are 19-10. And considering they were 13-2 at one juncture in favor of Central, we've seen a better second period out of West Fargo. But once more, you see Central just absorb your power play and immediately turn it into an opportunity to score on their own end.
It's just, and for West Fargo, it's details, Ryan. I mean, the little mistakes, just being lazy on pucks, coming back late, those little things. And Central will make you pay. There's too much offense on this team to kind of give up those freebies, you know what I mean?
Well, this might be a team that West Fargo's seeing that kind of cranks up the speed of the game a little bit compared to what they've seen so far this year. And a good game for them to have at that point, because they'll know. Henning Gibbs coming away with it. Lost the puck to the hands of Alex Arneson for West Fargo. Off to the right point. Another shot is blocked. Sam Clevin trying to get a wrister through. We saw Central block a ton of shots against East Grand Forks. They're in that shot blocking mode right now.
Yeah, and listen, as a coach, too, when you see your guys up 4 or 5-0, still blocking shots, warms your heart a little bit.
Makes you feel good. Absolutely still making the little plays. Henning Gibbs looking for a pass, top of the crease that goes wide. Alex Arneson picks up a puck for West Fargo. Breakout intended for Scarry, too strong. And that's another thing for West Fargo tonight. They've had a couple of chances to stretch the ice this evening, and they've been just this close. They've missed on a couple tonight.
That was the right play. It was a good read, just a little bit of a misfire.
5-0 your score in the All-True scoreboard. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by All-True. Regular screenings with All-True's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit alltrue.org. Call 780-5000. DeZiel takes control of a draw for Central. Turns one back behind the West Fargo net. This will work out to the right. Rylan Bradall coming back into the neutral zone. Another icing call coming up against West Fargo. Draw is brought to you by our friends at Apex Apparel, your hometown quick turnaround promotional goods store in Grand Forks. Family owned on Demers in Grand Forks. And Big Jim's Tire, your #1 supplier for ag tires in the region. Big Jim's Tire and Apex Apparel bringing you our draws tonight.
No update from Fargo. They're in the third, though. That game was way ahead of us.
They must have got started earlier than we did tonight. I thought it was a 7:30 start, but they might have gone to the 7 o'clock start or maybe adjusted a bit earlier for weather, because the trip home might be a little iffy tonight for some of these teams. Breakout for West Fargo, shot off the right matter. Another big save by Rylan Burke. I'll tell you what, the second period seen a couple of goals for Central, but Rylan Burke has been the breakout star for Central.
Especially on that power or that penalty kill. He had what, 3 point blanks?
He has had some really, really nice stops here in this second period. Puck goes loose. Cooper DeZiel sends it up the ice. He found Rivard. Rivard measuring back towards DeZiel, just broken up a bit. Boone Canta had joined the rush to make that a 3-on-2 odd man, but DeZiel, I think, was the target of the pass. And now comes Ian Scary up ice for West Fargo. May have been held a little bit. We'll look it off. And DeZiel will play one off the glass back into the West Fargo zone that's destined to be icing on the Knights, I believe. Nope,
didn't get there.
Waving that off. And so Noah Becker will go back to pick it up for the Packers. He'll send it all the way through the neutral zone. Lockwood on the back end for Central to take control. Now to Wyatt Blake, looking back up the ice. Puck that's picked off by Rylan Bradall. Off towards the right side. Packers come back into the offensive end. Zach Kaysen trying to come up the ice with it. Kaysen engages with Lockwood in the far corner. A reach in by Walkenfuss, who scored the latest goal for Central. He'll come back out towards the right, off the wall. It's Blake, and we'll see a whistle. Offside may be the call against Central, I believe, with 3:33 to play in the second period.
You just saw it right there. Another thing from West Fargo that just kind of a lot of kind of that individual kind of toe drag, trying to beat guys one-on-one. And Central's just defending it, turning it over, and going the other way. Whereas offensively, Central's just get the puck on your stick, get it to somebody open, get open. It's a much better brand of hockey.
That may have been contacted by somebody on the bench,
I think
because
it hit the
we
bench.
drew right in the center circle. Central brings the puck up into the offensive end. Ashton Wiggestrand picking it up for West Fargo. Turns it back up the left side wall. Lockwood will put it back into his own end for Trey Clausen, and now back to the near edge for Wyatt Blake. Central leading 5-0 on the all-true scoreboard here in the second period. Pass off the wall near side for Kirkaby. Walkenfuss high slot, slips a wrister wide. Trey Clausen picks up the loose puck in the corner and had that taken off his stick. Here comes Ashton Wiggestrand. Now it's Kaysen that picks it up for West Fargo. Tried to jump around a defender. Near side, Graydon Peterson a chance up and over the bar. Peterson has been good offensively in this second period. He's been looking for a shot, something we said West Fargo had to do.
That kid needs to look for a shot. I would tell him all fault, like, if you get a look, you let that thing rip. I mean, he shoots hard and he's accurate and he can kind of score from anywhere. So that should be his game plan every time he's on the ice.
Yeah, shots are +4 West Fargo here in the second period. And that's something we talked about at intermission, that in the first, they just simply did not make shots at angles that we thought they could have. They tried to make an extra pass, and they've been better at that in the second period, and it's led to some better scoring chances. They haven't scored as of yet, but that's in part because Rylan Burke has been up to the challenge.
Yeah, I'm just watching. I mean, this is, Ryland's second varsity start. His first is against Grafton, so, still pretty new to this, and he just looks so calm back there.
He looks very comfortable. Yep, looks very comfortable at this point right now. Little breakout towards the near side, and here comes Nielsen up the ice, 2-on-1. Little short, rather odd man rush. Puck goes into the corner, picked up by Trey Clausen. We played off the wall, back out to the left point. Nielsen trying to slip a wrister in. Deflected up and over the bar. Noah Becker tries to track it down. Central putting on some pressure here. Loose puck to Jack Josephson for the Packers. He'll turn it back to the line. Ben Petrick comes up the ice, 2-on-2. Holding left point, then sending one wide. So slip off towards the far wall. And we'll see Brody Lowegi coming back with the puck for the Packers. Ends up having it broken up. Boone Canta steps in to take control. Tried to make a pass up the ice to Spicer, and that came on net. It was touched by Norton. We were expecting the icing call, but Norton got a piece of it, so Spicer goes into the corner and tries to take the puck with 1:23 to play in the period. Off to the near point, held in by Central, played down the ice off the near edge by Wyatt Blake. He goes looking into the far corner, trying to find Mason Bensley, who steps on the ice for his first shift tonight for Central. And Bensley, along with Henning Gibbs, trying to tie that one up. Bensley may have been out there, just hadn't seen him, because we see Brady Fee out there, so the fourth line getting a full cycle here into the final minute of the period, and West Fargo trying to clear will ice, and we'll come back into the Packers zone for a draw with 57 seconds to go.
Yeah, we might see more of that line as this third period progresses.
Well, get them some time. I mean, there's some decent names on that fourth line. Brady Fee has played this game before. And I've been impressed with what I've seen from Henning Gibbs tonight, stepping into the varsity action.
He's been good when he's been out there. But, a lot of these guys were on this line last year. There just was nowhere to go with everything they brought back. So there's guys on that fourth line with varsity experience.
Well, sure. And when you take a look at the two names that jumped up there tonight, Mason Bensley and Henning Gibbs, they're there because Kwame and Blue are out of the lineup, right? And it gives them the opportunity to step in. Here's a great pass from DeZiel. Deflected and scored on the back end. Ryder Burris, who deserves to be rewarded tonight, comes up with a big play for Grand Forks Central after DeZiel led another odd man rush. He's going to pick up his third point tonight. But Ryder Burris has been doing all the dirty work, picks up a deflection and scores it on a jab shot to make it 6-0.
Yeah, it was a really good-looking play gone wrong for Central, but the puck just sits free in the slot, and Ryder just right down Broadway and just hammers home that rebound. Good for him going to the net. He deserved that, like you said.
Let's take a look at it again to the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. And another odd man rush for Central. They haven't been working out tonight. Burris started this. It was DeZiel that had a shot blocked, and there was Burris just ready to snipe it out on top of the crease. And Grand Forks Central comes away with another goal. Ryder Rivard's going to get an assist on it. And Finn Lockwood will as well. I thought it was DeZiel, but we'll go Burris from Rivard and Lockwood at 16-18 of the second period. 6-0 Knights, and barring lightning striking here for West Fargo at the end of the period, we're going to be in some running time to start the third. A puck off the end wall, loose to the near side. Oh, lightning almost struck. A step in by Zach Kaysen right through the heart of the blue in the crease and just missed on it. Another shot towards Burke that he'll defend away, and boy, tough to really size that period up. West Fargo was better, and Ryland Burke was one of the best Knights on the ice, and still 3 more goals are on the scoreboard, and Central leads 6-0.
Yep, puck management, details. I mean, West Fargo needed to avoid those fatal mistakes. They did not, and Central makes you pay.
And so West Fargo will be down 6-0 to Grand Forks Central going into the third period. And that means that as we start the third period, we're going to be in some running time situation here for the Knights as we get started with the third. And this could be kind of a short third period of play. So we'll come back with our intermission report. Again, our intermission report tonight brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. It's the Knights 6 and the Packers 0 through 2. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivard's Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. And we're back with more coming up next.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with Harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks. Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
Today, the PS stands for proper service for your home, farm, or business, which is what you'll get from the team at PS Garage Doors in Grand Forks. Whether you need a door fixed or just thinking about replacing what you already have, no matter what the size, PS Doors offers the proper service for you. Get your proper service at psgaragedoors.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
When you think breakfast, you think Perkins Restaurant. Whether you keep it simple with a fresh-baked mammoth muffin and coffee or go all out and try the tremendous 12 breakfast, Perkins Restaurant is your breakfast place. Perkins Restaurant and a great breakfast make the perfect team.
As guys, we all love our trucks. That's why Toys for Trucks is your headquarters for all things truck. They carry an amazing selection of rims and tires, plus floor mats, tonneau covers, hitches, plows, and even Excalibur remote car starters for any car, truck, or SUV. And the best part? They can install everything for your truck right at their location. Stop out at Toys for Trucks in Grand Forks to customize your ride, or check them out at toysfortrucks.com.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports. Ryan Cunningham with Ryan Kuntz tonight. Joey Springer with video work tonight. And I'll tell you what, Joey's done a bang-up job with video this evening. Our highlights have been impressive. We're going to take a look at a few more of those here coming up in a couple of moments. It's 6-0 in favor of Grand Forks Central as we move to our second intermission tonight, brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. And again, a very interesting second period where West Fargo was better than they were in the first period. They shot even with Grand Forks Central in the second period. They were faster. They did a lot of good things. They earned another power play opportunity. But we saw Rylan Berg step up, make a couple of very impressive saves, particularly during the penalty kill. And then Central found another way to just strike quickly and strike often, put 3 more goals on the board and lead 6-0. You know, if you didn't see the goals, you'd have thought West Fargo played pretty even with Grand Forks Central in that period, but Central's up 3 goals in the period and 6 for the game.
Again, that's just the lineup of Central. Just so much firepower, and they're so good around the net. I think all 3 of those goals were all just plays around the net. I think the Kirkby goal was the breakaway, but the other 2 for sure were just plays at the net.
Yep.
West Fargo wasn't clearing pucks, wasn't clearing bodies. Central got there quicker and harder, and puck goes in.
And one came up, obviously, after the power play opportunity. Central did that against East Grand Forks as well, where they cranked up the ice after a power play and scored, and they've done it again tonight. As we take a look at our highlights from the second period, brought to you by Proceed. If you need seed, think Proceed. Proceed.net, and we'll get started here with Central. Again, a breakout off the wall towards the near side of the ice, and this again is Kirkby just picking a stick from Alex Arneson and coming up with a takeaway. Great individual play for Kirkby, his second goal tonight. 4-0 at that point in favor of Central. And then the Knights here coming away, and this is Wigestrand coming up with a quick turnover. Wigestrand waiting for a loose puck, gets one centered to him and comes up with a goal, and then a little shove at the end of that as well, just to show that he won the play. And then finally Central again. That one, by the way, by Walkenfuss was after the power play. Here's Central again, loose puck. Burris just waiting for a loose puck to be around after DeZiel took the chance at the net. And those are our highlights from the second period, brought to you by Proceed. Need seed? Think Proceed, Proceed.net. But Ryan, you're right. Just doing the little things of following a puck, following a play to its conclusion, being in front of the net and looking for the puck in that circumstance. Knights scored 3 times that way.
Yeah, somewhere out there, my old coaching partner, Parker Metz, is smiling because that's he loves Ryder Burris. And that goal right there, the 6-1, was kind of just like the final punch in the mouth right after that period, like just letting the big guy alone in front of the net. He just bangs home a rebound, just kind of the story of the period.
Really, it was.
Give Central a chance, and it's going in.
Yeah, and Central, as far as the scoring summary is concerned, I mean, they're all over the place now tonight. Kirkby has 2 goals this evening, but he's the only multi-goal scorer tonight. In the second period, you see Kirkby with an unassisted goal, and then you'll see Gavin Walkenfuss coming up with his goal, assisted by Donovan Bollock and Trey Clausen, and then Ryder Burris with his goal, assisted by Ryder Rivard, and also by Cooper DeZiel. They did put DeZiel in the score sheet now on that one. We thought it was DeZiel.
Who did they give it to originally?
They originally said it was Finn Lockwood.
Yeah, that's right.
But I felt like it was DeZiel that was at the ice, and you did as well. And so that will be Burris that scores from Rivard and DeZiel. So Rivard's on the board twice tonight with a goal and an assist. Cooper DeZiel's on the board 3 times with 3 assists this evening. And Brady Kirkby's on the board with a couple of goals tonight as well. But those are some big nights, particularly Cooper DeZiel. 3 points added to his season. He came in with 4. He's got 7 points on the season now after that. And when we come back with our scoreboard update brought to you by Altru in a couple of moments, the wheels have absolutely fallen off the Rough Riders down in Fargo tonight after they took a 6-2 lead in that matchup. We'll give you the update in a couple of moments. But that's your scoring summary brought to you by Bergstrom Electric. They make the lamp and the light shine brighter with Who Lit the Lamp. Cooper DeZiel, 3 assists. Brady Kirkby with a couple of goals tonight. And it's 6-0 in favor of Central over West Fargo. Our intermission report will continue in just a couple of moments, so we invite you to stay with us. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. And we're back with more in just a couple of moments. Stay tuned.
There's never been a better time of year than now to get that new Ford from Nelson Auto Center in Grand Forks. It's the model year closeout, and you can drive off in a new F-150 XLT and save up to $14,500 or choose low 2.9% financing for 60 months. Ford Escape, another great buy. Save up to $4,250 and get low 1.9% for 66 months. Hurry in for huge discounts and low financing during our model year closeout at Nelson Auto Center in Grand Forks.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivards Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com.
Signature Graphics in East Grand Forks is your one-stop shop for all your branding and design needs. From embroidery, vinyl wrapping, laser print, and more, fully customized from start to finish, all in-house. Signature Graphics. We craft your vision. You watch it come to life.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
As guys, we all love our trucks. That's why Toys for Trucks is your headquarters for all things truck. They carry an amazing selection of rims and tires, plus floor mats, tonneau covers, hitches, plows, and even Excalibur remote car starters for any car, truck, or SUV. And the best part? They can install everything for your truck right at their location. Stop out at Toys for Trucks in Grand Forks to customize your ride, or check them out at toysfortrucks.com.
When you think breakfast, you think Perkins Restaurant. Whether you keep it simple with a fresh baked mammoth muffin and coffee or go all out and try the tremendous 12 breakfast, Perkins Restaurant is your breakfast place. Perkins Restaurant and a great breakfast make the perfect team.
Franson Bank and Trust in Grand Forks is a community bank that caters to businesses, farms, and consumers. They provide customized financial solutions with personalized customer service. Let Franson Bank give you the banking relationship you deserve. Real people, real results.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Wilrich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
Welcome back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We continue with our second intermission tonight. Our intermission report brought to you by High Plains Water, your source for awesome water in Grand Forks, and by Grand Forks Welding and Machine, the Men of Steel. Scoreboard updates are brought to you by Altru. Regular screenings with Altru's care team can detect illness before symptoms begin. Stay in the game of wellness. Schedule an appointment. Visit altru.org or call 780-5000. Boy, I'll tell you what's gone on down in Fargo is a little different. The score sheet is in, and Fargo North has come back to win tonight over Grand Forks Red River by a score of 7-6. Red River led 6-2 at one juncture in that matchup and led at one point 4-1 in that matchup, eventually leading 6-2, and then it was just, I don't know. I mean, it was just, you don't really know how to describe it, right? It's 6-3, I guess, at one point.
All Colby Hansen. I was just looking at the stats. So Colby Hansen from Fargo North had 3 and 2. Who was the other one? Liam Olsen had a goal and 4 assists. So, I mean, 2 guys just shredded them.
Yeah, it looks like Fargo North scored a shorthanded goal to tie the game, and then at even strength to win the game tonight. I'm not sure if there was a ton of penalty time. Shots on goal were 27-18. And that means that Fargo North scored 7 goals on 18 shots tonight. So that's a tough one for Red River to absorb. And I mean, keep in mind, Fargo North, I think, was ranked 5th in the East Region poll. So not a team that you're going to take as a slouch, but Central was ranked 2nd in the Eastern Dakota Conference poll. West Fargo was ranked 3rd. And so based on what we saw there, let's take a look at this, Ryan. I mean, East Grand Forks scored 7, Fargo North scored 7. So Red River's got some defensive issues they're going to have to talk over, I suppose.
I think the average, that's 7.
Yeah, 7 twice. But a 6-2 lead, and that one's going to hurt. Like, Ryan and I were talking about, and those of you heard us talk about it earlier in the pregame report, and we were highlighting that game. That's always some sort of weird fight down at the Coliseum for Red River. Central will go down there, kind of handle things, do the thing, right? Whenever Red River's gone down there with those teams that went undefeated, and they trailed Fargo North, right?
And we were there, and it was an absolute battle. I think we won. Man, I think it was like 3-2, maybe 4-2.
We've seen him go down 3-1 and come back and win 4-3 in overtime. I mean, we've seen some things, but to be up 6-2 and then have that go on, that's a tough situation for Grand Forks Red River tonight. So 0-2, and they've got Cheyenne coming up next on Thursday at home, so it doesn't get a whole lot easier.
Yeah, talk about a must-win for Red River or something.
Yeah.
I mean,
well, they're going to be in the same place perhaps as East Grand Forks was against Red River, right, after losing 3 games to start the season. Yeah, that could be definitely something to keep an eye on. But, again, that's a big shock tonight. Upset alert. Fargo North, a 7-6 win tonight over Grand Forks Red River. That ends our intermission report tonight, brought to you by High Plains Water and Grand Forks Welding Machine. Here in the third, Central leading West Fargo by a score of 6-0 as we start the third period of play. And the Packers getting control of the puck to get things started here in the third period. Central comes away with a puck that was loose on center ice. Wyatt Blake will send this back down to the West Fargo zone. Loose puck again to the neutral zone, being tracked down left side for Alex Arneson. And now Bryce Mattern, who has been very quiet tonight. Mattern hasn't had an opportunity to take a lot of shots. Central's really defended him well. Here he pokes a turnover, turns back to left circle. Scary got a chance away. It was deflected and ends up loose back behind the net. Circles back to Brody Medina, who will turn it back to the point. Arneson trying to backhand one in, flips it over the ice and out into the stands. And we'll see a draw coming up in perhaps the central zone. Looks like it was deflected by the Knights.
Well, run time, so I guess glass half full.
From that perspective, if you're Central, this could come out onto the neutral zone, by the way.
Early start on the drive home because it might be a little treacherous for West Fargo.
Yeah,
so
I took a look at the weather. It's still a winter storm watch for those of us that are in the I-29 corridor on both sides of the river. But they're expecting that, about 10 o'clock tonight, things will start to get a little blustery, and there was that chance of some freezing rain and sleet and all that type of thing. I had someone call into the show today and say that they were getting these annoying ice pellets in their eyes, and I said, well, isn't that sleet? It must be sleeting. They said, no, it's not sleet. It's just these really little ice crystals that are falling into my eye. I said, that's sleet. We had a little discussion about what sleet was. Trey Clausen coming up the ice, elbows Arneson in the sternum, and then comes away with the puck. He turns it back out to the left point, found Kason Panzer. Panzer looking down the ice, came up empty. Scary trying to get away for a loose puck that's cleared by West Fargo, but too strong. And we'll go back into the West Fargo zone for a draw with 15 and counting left in the third, in a 6-0 game in favor of Central.
You talked about this first line for West Fargo not being able to do anything. I'm just watching the body language, the frustration. They just have not had any time and space to do anything tonight.
There were a couple of moments in the first period that I thought if they would have shot the puck instead of making an extra pass, maybe. But they've really been swallowed up in the second period. Loose puck out on top, down to a knee. Walkenfuss driving in a one-timer. Ends up over the bar with it, turns it back towards the top of the net. Ends up with it again behind the net, does Walkenfuss. Coming out near side, continuing to fight for some space. Has another pass deflected, came away with it yet again, and comes away with it one more time. Takes a look out in front of the net. steps back towards his right, our left of the net. It goes trickling through. Now he dives out towards the net. Clausen did as well. There's a hit that turns into a one-on-one for Ashton Wiggestrand. He comes up the ice against Panzer, and Wiggestrand lost his footing and the puck on the way in. Puck goes loose in the central zone, deflected to Clausen off on the right wing. Clausen reaching after control of the puck, was able to get it, dumps it into the far corner, and Central will change. 13:45 to play in the third. Central leading 6-0. 3 points in the Eastern Dakota Conference on the line tonight. Central took 3 from Grafton Park River last week on Tuesday. Looking to make it a 6-point start in the Eastern Dakota Conference standings. This against the number 3 ranked team in the league coming in the preseason poll. Loose puck near side, Rylan Burke, another glove save on a loose puck to Ben Petrick and Zach Kaysen, and Kaysen has a shot stopped on a great play by Rylan Burke, who, again, only 12 shots against him tonight, but he's made some big ones.
I'm impressed with his just overall demeanor, calmness, confidence. Every save has seemed easy, and not every save has been easy.
No, he's had to make a couple where there's been an angle to come at him, and a clean one. Carson Murray, third pair defender, comes up with control of the draw, then lost, and here comes Central 2-on-1 odd man. Bollock dishing off near side. Jake Spicer looking back to Bollock. They had the opening, and Bollock couldn't quite hold the puck. Loose puck again. Spicer playing it out in front for Rylan Spicer. That's deflected wide of the net. Rylan Spicer charging in. Jake Spicer got a skate on it. Spicer trying to chase it down. Bollock was there as well. It comes back towards the point, but Burke couldn't catch up to it first. We'll see Brody Lawagi coming back up the ice for West Fargo. Turn back to Bollock on the left wing for the Knights in his own zone. He'll play it back behind the net. Burke taking a hit from behind, but steps through it from Lawagi and turns it back to the right. Bollock trying to make a play up the ice for Spicer. Broken up. This time the puck chased down to the far edge by Brady Fee. 3-on-2 again. Fee, the wrister, scores! Geez. Top shelf for Brady Fee coming in on the right. Brady Fee will score the goal that puts Grand Forks Central up 7-0, and the fourth line gets into the scoring action tonight.
That was a really good shot by Brady Fee. I mean, just walks down the right side and just snapped it with authority.
Yeah, let's take a look at it again. They're going to throw that puck out of play.
Must be his first.
Take a look at the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay, but there's Fee on the right side wall. He just lines up and just roofs one over Gavin Norton from the button right in the right circle. And Grand Forks Central takes a 7-0 lead.
So Donovan Bollock did a great job of driving the net and pulled that defender, kind of froze Arneson a little bit, gave Brady Fee that extra second. Ryan, we have an update. We were wrong.
That's not a final.
It was not a final. Red River has tied it with 30 seconds left.
They told us it was a final here at the arena.
Well, they were handing out the game sheet, made it seem like it was, didn't they?
Wow. So an update from Fargo. Red River has tied the game with Fargo North 7 apiece. On the all-true scoreboard, there's 30 seconds left in regulation. Now again, somebody wins that thing in overtime. Points go 1-1-2. Somebody gets the extra point out of that deal.
How many times have we seen that extra point in the last couple of years?
Oh, it matters. It
Decide
absolutely.
A seeding or a home ice or something.
But give Red River credit for bouncing back. I mean, it's tough to give up 7 or 5 unanswered goals as Mattern goes crashing into the net. And we're going to see a penalty coming up.
Burke is hurt.
And Rylan Burke is down. Lost his glove off his glove hand and is struggling to make his way back to his base. Bryce Mattern was run into Wyatt Burke on the, or rather Ryder Burke on the play. And Burke is struggling. Rylan, I apologize. And Rylan struggling to get back up to his feet. And yeah, he's grasping at his left leg, I think. Looks like maybe just took a stinger off the leg bone or something like that. But we're going to see a penalty coming up here against Grand Forks Central. So another power play opportunity coming up for the Knights.
That was a hard
collision. I should say rather for the Packers. Penalty's going to go against Logan Nielsen, his second minor tonight. We'll see what the penalty is. It's a tripping call against Nielsen. So a tripping call against Nielsen, and we'll see the Packers go on a power play. It'll be an abbreviated power play, though, with the running time on the draw. Already 25 seconds off the power play clock in a 7-0 lead for Central. Red River again tying up Fargo North tonight, 7 apiece after leading 6-2 and then trailing 7-6. They gave up 5 unanswered goals. And then Red River has come back to tie the game down in Fargo. as they battle in the EDC, and they probably are headed to overtime if we haven't seen an update yet. There are only 30 seconds left to go.
Yeah, that goal was with 30 seconds. That was a while ago.
So they're very likely in the extra frame down there, if you will. West Fargo on the power play. And we do see Rylan Berg stay in the game.
Yeah, he looks like he's okay.
Yep, made a save in that situation on a play from the high slot by Noah Becker. Scary comes out to the point for West Fargo. Back to Becker, high slot wrister blocked again. That one taken off the leg by Ryder Burris, and it's 2-on-2 with DeZiel and Burris up the ice. Burris on the right wing looking down towards the wing. A great backhanded pass. DeZiel waltzing in and scores a shorthanded goal. Cooper DeZiel coming in and scoring a shorty for Grand Forks Central, and the Knights will take an 8-0 lead. DeZiel with his 4th point tonight.
And if we haven't said his name enough, again, that play starts 7-0. Ryder Burris blocks a shot, takes the puck, goes down, cuts across the ice, drops Cooper DeZiel, goes in breakaway. Unbelievable play.
We'll take a look at it again here in a couple of moments, but Ryder Burris will pick up an assist on that play. And the power play is going to come to an end here. So the power play will be over at this point, and the Knights are at full strength. Let's take a look at that on the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. What a goal here. This is DeZiel coming back, and Burris just kind of makes a little drop pass, and he just knew DeZiel was going right through those 2 defenders. He has a chance to go in and attack the goalie all by himself. But, boy, that's a couple of players that are pretty comfortable playing with one another that knows what they were going to do.
Yeah. If that line gets going, no Matt Blue tonight. That's their 3rd line mate usually. If that line gets going and they have those other 2 lines going, look out.
Walkenfuss with a chip on Trey Clausen. Clausen will come up the ice. Kirkaby sending one back to Clausen. Gavin Norton makes a stick save as Clausen got a good wrister away. Loose puck off to the near side. Zach Kaysen for West Fargo coming up the ice. He's going to take a shot for the slot, and Rylan Berg got out of position, made a kick save. He had overcommitted to his right. That puck came back to his left. Arneson with a wrister. Burke knocks it down. Rebounded puck scores. And West Fargo will get on the board as Burke knocked the puck away, and I believe it was knocked in by Zach Kaysen for West Fargo to cut the lead to 8-1.
Yeah, he made he still looks like he's ailing now. Burke in the net, but he made yeah, like you said, he got caught on a kind of a tip puck where he was going to his right. Puck came back left. He made a great save on not a hard shot, but it got misdirected. Then a second shot on net, and he dropped the rebound. And
we'll see who they credit the goal to as the clock continues to run with the continuous clock rule coming into play here. 6-goal lead in the 3rd period. Clock does not stop until the lead is reduced under 6. And Zach Kaysen will get credit for the goal. There will be an assist on it for Arneson. And there will be an assist on that as well for Breedall. So it'll be Kaysen from Arneson and Breedall. And now Zach Kaysen goes in and puts a stick on Rylan Burke's glove. He'll escort himself over to the corner. Clock down to 6 minutes to go in the 3rd period.
Yeah, that was a late chop, and I think actually at that last goal, I think Central was a little upset. I think Burke might have had his glove on that puck, and they poked it free and in. I don't think they liked that one, and then there was a second one right after that.
Nonetheless, Central still up by 7, and just trying to ride this one out and end up with a win tonight without getting any additional people hurt. Again, Shea Kwame out due to the game misconduct that he took against East Grand Forks on Saturday, and Mac Blue with an injury, and now Rylan Burke's taking some contact tonight. You don't want to see any more of that go on here in this situation. Rylan Spicer turning and scoring. Rylan Spicer coming out near side, and he puts a bank shot off the pipe in top of the net, and Rylan Spicer will make this a 9-1 game for Central.
Yeah, just a great individual effort. Came around the net, walked out to the dot, kind of turned and just fired far side off the post and in.
So Rylan Spicer will score. See if we can get the official goal time on it. An assist for Donovan Bollock. And the time goal, I think they said 11:53. And we'll take a look at that one again coming up here in a couple of moments as the puck goes loose in the corner, but Rylan Spicer comes up with his first point, first goal of the season. And West Fargo comes away with control of the puck in a 9-1 lead for Grand Forks Central. Puck pulled up by Noah Becker. He gets free and he fires and scores. A banker off the right pipe that time. And that's really the first time that we've seen Rylan Burke just beaten tonight. And Noah Becker, who's had a really good season for West Fargo, comes up with a goal.
Yeah, we talked about knowing the pregame and kind of saw it there, maybe a little too late, but when he gets a look, he's got a hard shot. And like you said, he just beat Burke clean, but from that distance, when he picks his spot, it's tough to save.
9-2, lead cut to 7 as a puck comes in on Burke. He'll shovel it back behind the net. Let's go back a couple of moments ago to the Ryland Spicer goal in the American Family Insurance Tyler Nagel Agency replay. This is a beauty for Ryland Spicer. You see him come around the net, out to the circle, no chance, so he just goes top shelf and banks it in off the pipe.
It's a good shot.
It really is. We've seen a couple of really, really good, heavy shots like you like to talk about. Quick, velocity, high. 3:35 to play here in the third. Noah Becker up into the offensive end for West Fargo. Gets rubbed off the puck. And here comes Central's Kason Panzer. Panzer off to the right, dishes away to Hunter Gibbs. Gibbs with a chance. Norton turned that aside. Puck will be cleared back into the Central zone. Boone Canta giving chase, but he's going to wait for the icing call. And the clock will run down to 3 minutes to go here. Shots are 29-19 Central. Central leads 9-2. Still latest update, 7-all down at the Coliseum between Red River and Fargo North. That was 6-2 Red River, now 7-all.
Based on the time, they might be in round 17 of a shootout, although this time someone's probably scored. They've all probably scored. They've all gone in.
It's an 8-minute overtime, so it's a possibility they could still be playing, but you're right. And we had one of those before. They had a 17-round shootout between Red River and Davies.
Oh, geez. Here's
a play out in front. Ryder Rivard had a chance. The defenses have all but given up, except for the goaltenders here. Otherwise, everybody's just looking for a scoring opportunity. We've had 5 goals in the third period already. Central leading 9-2. Shot coming in from a steep angle from, I believe, Brody Medina on Burke that time. Burke made a butterfly stop. Loose puck to Zeal out to Rivard. Here's Rivard up the ice, 3-on-3, trying to make a cross-ice pass that was deflected. He gets his own. Cross-ice pass back, top of the right circle. DeZiel, a pass over to the near side for Ryder Burris. Burris a stop and a look into the corner, trying to find Rivard. Loose puck towards the near side. Bryce Mattern trying to get up the ice. And again, the one guy that hasn't had an opportunity to do anything scoring tonight has been Bryce Mattern. Central's had a very good defensive game plan for probably the more dangerous West Fargo Packers scorer out there. Here's Mattern with it again, this circle, and again, trying to measure an angle and just got played extremely well defensively. Clock down to 1:40 left. Rivard turning back up the ice for Burris. He tried to keep his team on side and couldn't. We'll see an offside call coming up, and 1:30 left as we get ready for another drop. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen down there.
I know, I keep refreshing and I get nothing.
Each team, they've gone to overtime, we assume. That means each team gets a point in the EDC standings, and in overtime they play for the third point, and they will decide it in a shootout. And that would also count for the third point if nobody scores in the 8-minute overtime frame. We've already had one overtime game this year. We'd only called 2 together, so that doesn't bode well for what we're going to have the rest of the season. Down to the final minute to play here in the third. I mean, it bodes well if you're looking for exciting hockey, I guess. A lot of late nights for Rhino and myself.
Me and you get a lot of OT games, usually in the state championship.
Sometimes 3 overtimes. You never know. Here's a shot. Burke knocks that away. By the way, I was thinking about changing my on my social media handle. I was trying to work It Was Boarding back into that, but I just remember that? Clearing play by Central.
Sure do.
That was a heck of a state tournament, wasn't it?
Well,
tough to get out the door that night. Wyatt Leduc with that soft little wrister that completely changes the complexion of a semifinal.
Just absolutely deadly with that soft little
I
wrister.
miss Wyatt Leduc.
Hey, he's
you
skating
know
our men's league. If you come on Wednesday
Is
night,
he?
you can watch him play.
Great guy. Really great guy. Great mom. She lent me a helmet for Josh to have in a hockey camp. And that's 2-1, and that's it. And Grand Forks Central will improve their record to 2-1 with a 9-2 victory tonight over West Fargo. The Knights will grab 3 points in the Eastern Dakota Conference standings. They'll move to 6 points in the league. And West Fargo is beaten tonight here by a score of 9-2 by Grand Forks Central. Post-game report on the way. And our post-game report brought to you tonight by Spring Advantage and Lake Region State College. We've got it for you coming up next. This is our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivards Turf and Forage, Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, and KNOX Live Sports. Postgame report is on the way next.
Pro Ag in Grand Forks and Grafton carries the equipment and parts on hand to make your farming operation run smooth. They carry all major brands like Honeybee, Alloway, Amity, Artex, Hardy, Capello, Monosem, Pickett, Will Rich, and Black Ace. So whether you're trading in, buying, or just need parts, go to ProAgEquip.com to see everything Pro Ag has to offer.
When you need the right part for your pickup, head to Northwood or call Mike's Custom Truck. Amanda will drop ship any part you need: turbos, upgraded fuel pumps, Edge products, and more. Mike's Custom Truck, 587-6335.
From tears in your car, truck, boat, or farm equipment seats to making boat covers or complete restorations of the interior of your hot rod, Finest Auto Trim in Grand Forks can make the inside of your rides look brand new again. Big or small, at Finest Auto Trim, we can cover it all. To check out our services, go to finestautotrim.com or stop out on Demers Avenue in Grand Forks.
Your local Circle K and Holiday Station stores are proud to support high school activities. Stop by the new Circle K location at 1316 South Washington Street for not only gas, but a wide array of hot and cold food, snacks for everyone, and a car wash. Open 24/7, 7 days a week. Since 1972, Jarrell's Sports Center and Hockey World has provided year-round sporting goods, apparel, and of course, hockey equipment and training tools. You'll also find they have a state-of-the-art skate sharpening machine to give you the edge you need for anything sports. Stop into Jarrell's and Hockey World.
Add a pop of color and excitement to your next celebration with Balloons by Misty. Their one-of-a-kind balloon design skills and creativity will make your event unforgettable. It's always a party at Balloons by Misty. Visit balloonsbymisty.com today.
We welcome you to our post-game report tonight, where Grand Forks Central has defeated West Fargo in Eastern Dakota Conference Hockey by a final score of 9-2. Our post-game report brought to you tonight by Lake Region State College and by Spray Advantage. Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. The difference between Spray Advantage and their competitors is that Spray Advantage has what you're looking for in stock: tips, tanks, nozzles, pumps, grain carts, seed tenders. 2 locations to serve you in Grand Forks and St. Thomas. Spray Advantage. Make them a part of your agricultural game plan now and for years to come. And our post-game report tonight brought to you as well by Lake Region State College. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. Precision agriculture, law enforcement, nursing, just a couple of the careers that you can supercharge your way into at Lake Region State College. Get done in 2 and go on and do some earning. Or you can take your credits with you to any institution in the North Dakota system and go for the 4-year route, starting at Lake Region State College with campuses in Devils Lake, Grand Forks Air Force Base, and online at lrsc.edu. Well, first things first, overtime tonight at the Coliseum. North wins 8-7 in overtime tonight. I'm sorry, not North, Red River. Red River wins 8-7 over Fargo North tonight in a game that, again, like you said, it's just it's a consistent stream of nightmares that go on for Red River down at the Fargo Coliseum, and we've seen it over and over again. Red River leading 6-2, gave up 5 unanswered goals. I shouldn't say they were unanswered because they eventually answered them, but they gave up 5 consecutive goals to Fargo North and trailed 7-6. Scored with 30 seconds left to tie it up.
Empty net goal.
Yeah.
Empty net.
Yeah, probably with the extra attacker, right? And then they score either in overtime or the shootout.
Looked like it was overtime. Dallas Jackson is what I'm showing
Dallas
here.
Jackson comes up with a game winner in overtime, and so Red River's going to get 2 points out of that matchup tonight with Fargo North. North will get 1, but once again, boy, I'll tell you what, if you're Fargo North, it's a decade of near misses, isn't it? You've had Red River on the ropes, and you're building over and over again, and somehow the Rough Riders keep slipping out of there with wins. I'm not sure how it works, but somehow Red River always gets the big knock in that one, and so they win it. And here tonight, Central dominant in the first period. They come back with a second period where it was rather even, yet they put 3 goals on the board and just continued for 2 periods to be really good defensively against West Fargo tonight. And they win it by a score of 9-2. And, you know, Ryan, this is a good West Fargo team. And one of the things that we saw until the third, when things got a little loosey-goosey, one of the things we saw is that the key playmakers, Ian Scarry, Bryce Mattern, Noah Becker, they just did not have opportunities against this Central defense tonight. And if it wasn't the defenders getting in front blocking shots, it was Rylan Burke making some big saves on the backside.
It just seemed like West Fargo just could never adjust to the speed of Central. They could not defend the front of their net well. They just didn't do a lot of little things that help you win hockey games. They kind of did the opposite of the little things that help you win hockey games. They did the things that make you lose hockey games. But hats off to Central. They were good tonight everywhere.
Yeah, really good defensively tonight in the first 2 periods, and then they took advantage of some big offensive opportunities this evening. And let's run you through a few of those with our highlights from the game. And our highlights from the game tonight are brought to you by Proseed. Need seed? Think Proseed, proseed.net. We'll get this started tonight with Wyatt Blake, who's had a couple of really nice games defensively for Grand Forks Central. Here his team is changing behind him. He jumps up into a play offensively, as you said, Ryan. He knew he was going to be the only offensive threat. He scores there to make it a 1-0 lead for Central. And then we see West Fargo's goalie being tested again. Here's an odd man 2-on-1, and Gavin Norton early had to make some big stops, and he did there coming across to deny one of several different odd man chances tonight for Grand Forks Central. But here's Brady Kirkaby. What an effort here from Kirkaby. Stepping through 3 different defenders, going forehand, backhand to create his own shot. That made it 2-0 Central in the first. And then Ryder Rivard and Cooper DeZiel. Watch this connection throughout the season. DeZiel taking a look. He's got Rivard in front of the net. Tap one-timer.
He called for it. He gave the stick like, hey, I'm going.
And he ends up scoring it. That made it 3-0 after 1. Here we see Kirkaby again. Great individual play. Gets up ice. Makes a little stick play on Arneson. Pulls the puck away from behind and ends up scoring to make it a 4-0 lead at that point. And then we'd see Gavin Walkenfuss get into a play right after a penalty kill. Walkenfuss comes up the ice, waits for a puck, gets a great dish and scores it. That made it 5-0, the route getting on there. And then Ryder Burris, he had done everything to this point throughout the night. Had hit a ton of guys, played the enforcer's role. Here he picks up a loose puck, and that made it 6-0 at that point, and the route was definitely on at that point as Central ends up winning it tonight, again by the final score of 9-2. And those are your highlights tonight, brought to you by Proseed. Need seed? Think Proseed, proseed.net. As far as the scoring derby, and this one is concerned tonight with Who Lit the Lamp, Cooper DeZiel is on the board 4 times tonight, if I have seen correctly. Cooper DeZiel with a goal and 3 assists tonight, so that will be 4 points for Cooper DeZiel, and I think that's going to be the leader in the clubhouse tonight for Grand Forks Central. So 4 points tonight for Cooper DeZiel on a goal and 3 assists. Brady Kirkaby with 2 goals this evening, a goal and an assist for Ryder Burris, a goal and an assist for Wyatt Blake, a goal, 2 assists tonight for Gavin Walkenfuss, who's got a 3-point night. Jacob Spicer with an assist this evening. Brady Fee, Ryder Rivard, single goals each. Rivard also had an assist. Ryland Spicer with a goal and an assist this evening. And Trey Clausen with an assist. Donovan Bollock with 2 assists tonight. So lots of scoring on the page tonight for Grand Forks Central, as you would expect. And for West Fargo this evening, goal for Zach Kaysen, goal for Noah Becker, and assists for Ryland Bradall, and an assist for Connor Kuntz this evening, and also an assist for Alec Arneson. And again, your final score tonight, 9-2 in favor of Grand Forks Central. What jumped off the page at you tonight, Ryan, besides what we've talked about at this point?
Well, I mean, we've talked about a little bit of everything. I was impressed with Ryland Burke. He made some big saves early, and I thought he was great. There's so many guys that just had, I'm just looking at this list, like Gavin Walkenfuss looked great tonight. Man, did he jump off the page. Ryder Burris was a force.
Yes, he was.
I mean, he wasn't even trying to skate around guys. He's like, I'm just going to skate through you. I'm going to take the puck. I'm going to go down and do something around the net. And that's exactly the kind of style he needs to play. He was great. My favorite goal was still the Wyatt Blake goal, the first one. I could watch that over and over. Kirkaby's goals, as we watch them again, those were so nice.
Yeah.
Both of them. I can't decide which one was better. I mean, just a lot to like about what Central did tonight. And no Chakwami, no Mac Blue, and they hung 9 on the team.
That's ranked third.
Yeah. Like, watch out, everybody else.
Yeah, Central's definitely for real, and they're going to improve. That's the thing, is they're going to continue to get better because, like you mentioned, the lineup wasn't put together the way they want it to be tonight. All right, one final break. We'll come back, 3 stars of the game, wrap up with a quick look at the scoreboard, and call it good for the night with our post-game report, brought to you by Spray Advantage and Lake Region State College. Again, final score in this one tonight is Grand Forks Central 9 and West Fargo 2. We'll come back and wrap things up next on our post-game report here on KNOX.
When you're in pain, you need more than just a doctor. You need a problem solver. Count on All True Orthopedics and Sports Medicine and get back to what moves you.
Whether it's a golf course, your lawn, a pasture on your farm, cover crop, or even a food plot to help you get that big buck, Rivard's Turf and Forage of Grand Forks has developed, mixed, and packaged the premium specialized seed you need for almost every application. Plus, they also carry a full line of ice melter products for your home or business. To check out all their products, go to rivards.com.
Grand Trailer Sales in East Grand Forks is your go-to spot for enclosed utility, flatbed, and dump trailers in the Red River Valley. They have the biggest selection on hand of trailers with great pricing. If you're looking for parts, service, or simply to buy, trade, or rent a trailer, stop into East Grand Forks. GrandTrailersSales.com.
Spray Advantage of Grand Forks carries everything you need for the chemical and fertilizer application on your farm. They have pumps, tips, and tanks from 3 gallons all the way up to 10,000 gallons on hand. They can help with parts and accessories for the fertilizer and tillage equipment on your farm too. Go to sprayadvantage.com.
Picture yourself at Lake Region State College. With faculty and staff here to help you succeed, we know you by name. Picture your success as you get hands-on ready for the workforce or transfer on to earn your bachelor's degree. Lake Region State College. We change lives.
Apex Apparel is your quick turnaround apparel and promotional item shop in Grand Forks. If you're looking for direct-to-garment printing, embroidery work, or a huge selection of promotional items, come to Apex Apparel, your locally owned, family-run, quick turnaround apparel shop in Grand Forks.
Your family deserves clean, filtered water. High Plains Water offers Millennium Drink Water System, which delivers great-tasting water and also eliminates harmful impurities. Professionally installed and maintained by High Plains Water of Grand Forks. See them at highplainswater.com.
Rust, salt, and time are the biggest enemies for a fuel tank. Never fear, because Grand Forks Welding is here to take care of your enemies for you. We not only fix or patch your tanks, but we can custom fabricate any kind of replacement fuel tanks or service unit. Go to grandforkswelding.com.
If you've got an electrical emergency, call RBB Electric. We are your 24/7 electrician. Your call will always be answered by an RBB employee ready to help 24/7. RBB Electric is on time every time. Your time is valuable, and we don't waste it. RBB Electric always...
It's hard to explain what this feels like. We could try to put it into words, but nothing compares to experiencing it for yourself. You just have to get in the seat.
Visit True North Equipment at any of our 10 locations or at www.truenorthequipment.com. Big Jim's Tire is the area's #1 farm and ag tire supplier, and with harvest here, you want the best. Best tires, best service, and Big Jim's will get it done fast to get you moving again. Big Jim's Tire, Grand Forks.
Welcome back to our post-game report tonight. Again, our final score this evening is Grand Forks Central 9 and West Fargo 2. We welcome you back to our coverage of high school hockey on the Rivard's Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network, KNOX Live Sports. We've got some scores to pass along. Post-game report brought to you by Lake Region State College. At Lake Region State College, we change lives. And also brought to you tonight by our friends at Spray Advantage, everything you need for spraying an application on your farm. As we mentioned on the scoreboard tonight, Grand Forks Red River in overtime with an 8-7 win over Fargo North this evening. What an unbelievable game that those two played down at the Fargo Coliseum tonight. And Red River gets a win, and they'll get 2 points in the Eastern Dakota Conference with that. We do have a final in the East Region tonight. Devils Lake defeats Grafton Park River by a final score of 6-4 tonight. So that's Devils Lake over Grafton Park River tonight by a final score of 6-4 this evening. Also, the Grand Forks Knight Riders defeated Devils Lake this evening 5-0. The shots were 58-5 in favor of Red River. I should say rather over the Knight Riders. That was over at Eagles Arena this evening. So that game has gone final. And 5-0, the Knight Riders pick up a win over there this evening as well. And still looking, they say that it's in progress at this point between Fargo Davies and West Fargo Cheyenne, but Cheyenne now leading Fargo Davies 5-4 in that matchup inside the Eastern Dakota Conference. That's the one that we don't have in the league at this point. That would be finishing up the scores that we were looking for tonight. And Davies had a lead early in that one, but that again has turned into a little bit of a scoring fest as well between Cheyenne and Fargo Davies. So I guess this season in the EDC, get ready. There's going to be a lot of goals scored in this one throughout the course of the year.
It's like some BCHL scores. Go out, juniors in the BCHL, every game is like 7-6, 8-7.
Hey, that's what the fans want, right?
That's what the fans want to see goals. Bring it on.
Give the people what they want, right? All right, let's take a look at what we've got first of all. for our player awards tonight. Let's start with our 3 stars of the game this evening, and our 3 stars of the game brought to you by PS Garage Doors, where the PS stands for Peaceful Season, and that's what's on right now at PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR if you need service on your garage door before the relatives make their way over for the holiday season. PS Garage Doors has perfect service. They'll come to your home and make sure that any make and model of garage door is working perfectly by the time they step away. And if it's time for a new garage door, the PS stands for Painless Shopping, and you can find more about that by going to their warehouse in the industrial park, 4733 Demers in Grand Forks. PS Garage Doors. Call 772-DOOR. So 3 stars from Grand Forks Central tonight. 3rd star that you had in mind this evening, I think you, you kind of had it all picked out as far as an order was concerned.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go number 3, Gavin Watkins. Goal and 2 assists, is that right?
Yeah, goal and 2 assists tonight.
But looked great. Like
he did.
Just, every time he had the puck on his stick, just making plays and all around the net, up and down the ice. He looked great tonight.
Really kind of rose to the occasion in that second period. This was right off of a penalty kill where he comes up ice, turns the puck around and just waits for it to come back. And that's an offensive-minded guy, and so you like that. And so Gavin Watkins was our 3rd star. 2nd star tonight, you had mentioned Cooper DeZiel, and why not? He just was involved in about every play that was out there tonight, including, the first goal tonight with Wyatt Blake leading the breakout, and then finding Rivard as well for the 3rd goal tonight. But he had 4 points this evening, and really, really nice night for DeZiel.
Yeah, he had the goal, but I was actually more impressed with just his playmaking. He had a ton of nice passes. He had several more that ended up not going in. I mean, he could have had, 5 or 6 assists.
Yeah, on that one he sets up Blake on the first goal of the game tonight, and then later in that first period, this again is DeZiel. And DeZiel just knowing where to look for Rivard, and he found Rivard down the doorstep, but that's just his ability to make plays tonight. Really, really good. So Cooper DeZiel, our 2nd star tonight. But our 1st star this evening, a guy that just decided to do things on his own tonight, right? Brady Kirkaby. Look at this goal that Kirkaby had tonight. And this is the kind of individual playmaking he made all night long. Steps between a couple of defenders, dangling with the stick. I mean, that's just fantastic stuff, right, from Kirkaby. And then later, when they got the second period started, this was Kirkaby coming up the ice. And, boy, when you can do things
Watch
like
this little stick tap. There it was. He just, a subtle little tap, gets the puck loose, and he just grabs it. And, I mean, he made that look so easy, both of those. And that was, I think, goals 2 and 4.
Yeah.
So, I mean, early in the game,
2 of the first 4 goals.
And he just makes those 2 unbelievable plays.
4th liner on Saturday, moves up to the 2nd line today and had a great game, right?
Well, again, we said someone needs to step up. He had 2. Rivard had a goal and an assist. So the guys that were supposed to step up and fill those holes left by Blue and Kwame, they did it.
They did, absolutely. Those will be our 3 stars of the game tonight. Again, our 3rd star, Gavin Watkins, our 2nd star, Cooper DeZiel, and our 1st star tonight will be Brady Kirkaby. Our Finest Auto Trim Finest cover of the game brought to you by Finest Auto Trim. Big or small, they cover it all. Finest Auto Trim specializes in recovering vehicle and marine seats. If you had a summer where it was hot and it was obviously sunny, those seats got faded. They no longer have support. Those of you in agriculture, if your implements just got really worn out with all the long hours this year in harvest, it's time to get those seats in to Finest Auto Trim. Let them recover those seats for you so that when you're out in the gear again, getting ready for a planting season or whatever you may have coming up, they can help you with those seats being comfortable and giving you the support that you deserve at Finest Auto Trim. With some of this weather coming in, why don't you get a custom-made cover for a boat or pontoon that you keep outside, or maybe a power unit or AC generator? Finest Auto Trim, big or small, they cover it all. Tell you what, it's hard to ignore what Grand Forks Central goaltender Rylan Burke did tonight in a couple of narrow windows, right? But a couple of big saves on the penalty kill tonight. He got injured, stayed in there to finish the game. Looked very calm all night long. We really liked what he added to that tonight.
Calm, confident, cool, all of it. I mean, it wasn't until that collision where he kind of got up looking like he was hurt where he finally let in a couple of goals. So I wonder if that affected him at all. Had to have. I mean, it looked like he was kind of limping around or whatever. So great game for him, though.
Yeah, great game for him tonight. He'll pick up the Finest Auto Trim Finest cover of the game. How about the celebration of the game? Brought to you by Balloons by Misty. Remember, It's not on. It's not a celebration. It's not a party until the balloons arrive. It's not a celebration until the balloons arrive. Balloons by Misty doing work on the national stage as of late, including projects for UND and NDSU. Find out how she can make your celebrations a next level better with Balloons by Misty. And, I'm not really sure where we're going to go with that because I didn't see a lot of the celebrations that happened in this one tonight. But I'll tell you what, you go back to that very first goal of the game here, where you see Wyatt Blake scoring, but Cooper DeZiel setting it up, and you're looking for that tempo starter, right? And here comes Central, and they got a really good gathering between those two men there, and you could see the gathering kind of come in from behind there at that point. But I kind of like the way that Blake and DeZiel looked at each other and said, okay, it's on. At that point, it really set the tone for 9 goals tonight.
Yeah, Wyatt just gives a subtle little, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing crazy, but you can tell he was pumped.
Well, and this one didn't go overtime down at the Coliseum tonight, too, right? So not a celebration until Balloons by Misty shows up, and that's our celebration of the game tonight. Final award is our Points Against Hunger, and it's brought to you by our friends at Northland Community and Technical College. They've teamed up with KNOX Sports and with our area teams to fight hunger with the way they score points in the region. And tonight, Grand Forks Central scores 9 goals. How about that? $9 is going to go from Northland's rescue mission to the Pioneer Food Pantry in East Grand Forks to help fight hunger in our region. It's Points Against Hunger, and it's brought to you by Northland Community and Technical College. You can look them up online. NCTC is how you'll find them, and Northland Community Technical College is ready to serve you in northern and northwestern Minnesota. All right, so we wrap up tonight. We get ready for Thursday, and I'll tell you what, we have no idea what we're going to see. West Fargo Cheyenne leading Davies 5-4. Red River in overtime tonight over Fargo North 8-7, which means Cheyenne and Red River at Eagles Arena is going to be between a couple of teams that both had some really interesting games on Tuesday night.
Maybe about 9-8. I mean, if you do some math, right?
It could be something like that.
We
really
might
could.
see 20 goals on Thursday.
Let's hope that's not going to be. I mean, obviously the pattern's got to be different at some point throughout the remainder of the year, but that was a tough night for Red River tonight, but they won, and that's what's key. And they'll come home against West Fargo Cheyenne. We'll have that for you coming up on Thursday. And then we've got basketball for Grand Forks Central on Friday as the girls and boys will take on Dickinson in non-conference play for a doubleheader to wrap up our week. But Thursday over at Eagles Arena here on KNOX and KNOX Live Sports. That'll start with a pregame report just after 7 o'clock. Rhino, thank you for being here tonight.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you being here. Ryan Kuntz joining us tonight, color commentary and analysis. I'm Ryan Cunningham. Again, your final score this evening, Central 9, West Fargo 2. And that'll do it for us. For those of you on the radio side, we'll send you back to regular programming in progress. On the video side, thank you for joining us tonight here on the Rivards Turf and Forage Grand Trailer Sales Sports Network and KNOX Live Sports.